wàá rí pé rúgàbìlì wà á tún lulẹ̀ ní o ní báyìí wọ́tábìlì ní àwọn Fúlàní tún gbé jáde. Kí ni ìtumọ̀ wọ́tábìlì? Wọ́tábìlì yóò fún ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní àǹfààní láti di alákòóso àti olùdarí gbogbo odò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ yóò sì jẹ́ aláṣẹ lórí gbogbo odò orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Odò Èrò, Ọ̀ṣun, Ọ̀sẹ́, Ìkọgùsì, Ọ̀gbẹsẹ̀, Àyọ́nùgbà, Lẹ́kìtì. Ọmọ ìlú kò láṣẹ níbẹ̀ mọ́ àyàfi kí wọ́n gba àṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe ohunkóhun. Odò Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, àṣẹ bóyá a lè ṣe ti di èèwọ̀ fún ìlú. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti di alábàáláṣẹ bákan náà lórí odò Àṣejìrẹ́, Ẹ̀rìnlẹ̀, Àfọ̀n, Ọbà àti odò Ọ̀tìn. Odò Òmù nílùú Èkó, odò Ọ̀tà ọ̀nà nílùú Ìkòròdú, Làgún àti odò Lẹ́kí, odò Ọ̀wẹ́nà l'Óǹdó, Yewa àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ti di tìjọba àpapọ̀. Àlà, Ọ̀sẹ́, Ọ̀gbẹsẹ̀, Ìgbọ́kọ̀dá, Olùwá àbí ẹ̀kọ́ ni kò sí pé ọmọ ìlú lè pàṣẹ ọjọ́ ọdún tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe àwọn ọdún ìmọ̀. Kódà odò Èkó Pupa tìlú Ìbàdàn tá a mọ̀ sókùpa àyàfi kí ọmọ ìlú tàbí ọba Yorùbá gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀. Odò Ọ̀gbà tí ìlú Ìṣẹ́yìn ní pípọ́ ti dé èèwọ̀ láì gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀. Ohun tí wọ́tábìlì túmọ̀ sí ni pé àṣẹ kan náà tí ọmọ Ìkòròdú ní lórí odò Májídú àbí ti Ọ̀tà ọ̀nà náà ní Fúlàní yóò ní. Àṣẹ tí ọmọ Òṣogbo bá ní lórí Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo ni ọmọ Fúlàní náà yóò ní àǹfààní irúfẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò sí àǹfààní àti wọ Yemọja, Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo, Ọ̀gbá, Ọ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀, Ọ̀tà ọ̀nà, odò Ògùn láì gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀. Tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ò bá fọwọ́ sí, kò sí àṣẹ lẹ́nu ọba mọ́. Tó bá mú ìjọba ní o, bí kò sì wù wọ́n, ọba kan kò ní àṣẹ. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, ọba Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire, ẹ dìde, ẹ pálúpọ̀. A ò fẹ́ wọ́tábìlì kó di òfin o. Torí pé nígbàkúgbà tó bá wù Fúlàní ni wọ́n lè dá màálù wọ ibikíbi nínú odò Yorùbá. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí àwọn olóṣèlú Yorùbá ta ọjọ́ ọ̀la ògo iye ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá fún Nàìjíríà o. Gbàjàbíàmílà tó jẹ́ olórí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin kékeré ti sọ wípé gbogbo gómìnà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀ ti fọwọ́ sí pé kí wọ́tábìlì ó di òfin. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ àwọn aṣòfin ti Benue tí wọ́n yarí pé gómìnà àwọn kò lè fọwọ́ sí irú ìkónilẹ́rú bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbàjàbíàmílà tó jẹ́ ọmọ Èkó kò tako àbá náà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni àwọn aṣojú ọmọ Èkó nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin náà sọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo ọ̀nà tí Fúlàní yóò fi gba ilẹ̀ mọ́ onílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àti odò lèyí o. Alálẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ gbà wá o. Ọ̀rọ̀ lómi Ìdó, nàmú lómi Ìtàgì. Àbálámọ̀dèkìtì ẹ̀fọ̀n, àbá bíbí ìrèrè ìlú Ọ̀páárá. Àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe fá fún ẹkú tó tó ní Mìíyán. Àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe fá fún òòṣà mẹ́jọ ní Mósè. Wọ́n ní àwọn bá Ọ̀rúnmìlà jagun. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ń pé ẹ lè bá àwọn jagun. Gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ àjíire, ìmọ̀tú, ìmọ̀jọ, ìmọ̀ ẹni ni kì í dalẹ̀. Ogunkógun, àṣàṣíkáṣàṣí, kò ní lè mú gbogbo ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire pátápátá. Àní àwa ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko. Ogun ò ní kó ilẹ̀ wa o. Àti pé ẹkùn tó tó ní orúkọ tí à ń pè ìwọ ẹtù. Gbogbo àbá, ìmọ̀, ọ̀tẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá dì fún Yorùbá. Ó yá ẹtù o, wá lọ sún wọn ká o. Àti pèsè jọ ní Mósè là ń pè ìwọ ìjọ. Ó yá ẹ̀yin tí ẹni ilé ayé, tí ẹni ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, tí ẹni ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire, ẹ dìde o. Ó yá kí ẹ di ejò. Kí ẹ wá lọ tú wọn ká lórí wọ́tábìlì yìí orílẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin. Kí ẹ wá lọ bá wọn jà. Àti pé ẹ̀yin ìyá mi ẹlẹ́yin àjẹ́ lórúkọ tí wọ́n ń pe ogun. Ó yá kí ogun ó kúrò lórí gbogbo ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire pátápátá. Àní ilẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá. Kí ogun padà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ní ogun ní o. Kí ogun má lè kó ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire. Àní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá. A kò fẹ́ wọ́tábìlì rárá o láyé. Kò lè wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ògún dáborí òpè ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.
I say good evening and welcome once again to our late night broadcast. My name is Olayemi Koiki of KOIKIMEDIA, 22nd of July 2022. The time is just coming up to 11 p.m. Just about 20 minutes before 11 p.m. Mo tún kí wa pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò níbi tí a ti máa ń fi platform yìí educate ara wa lórí ìrìn àjò bí ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe gbọdọ̀ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Mo fi ti Ọlọ́run ọba tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. A máa kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin Mùsùlùmí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí gbogbo àwọn Kristẹni. A kí gbogbo àwọn tradition religion tí à ń ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àyíká ibi tí ẹ ti ń ṣe. Àjúbà àwọn tó láyé tó lọ́run. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ olùgbọ́ wa different part of the globe. A tún padà lálẹ́ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti ṣe máa ń ṣètò láti tún fi sọ fún wa pé ó dájú pé ìran ọmọ Yorùbá ó máa kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà àti pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí Indigenous people láti jáde kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Mo ń fi ti Olúwa bẹ̀rẹ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ń kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ má jẹ́ kí a máa fi ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn nǹkan míì tí a bá ń gbọ́ lọ́tùn lósì pé ìran ọmọ Yorùbá, ìran ọmọ aládé pé a ní lọ. Ó ti di dandan nítorí pé Ọlọ́run ọba òun ló ní wá. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ dá wa, ó dá wa dáadáa kó tó di pé gbogbo rògbòdìyàn slave trade tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní bí so many thousands of years ago. The broadcast will be in English and Yoruba, and I welcome those of you that have joined us once again. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn fámílì mi pé wọ́n kó àmúmọ́ra fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí Elédùmarè gbé lé wa lọ́wọ́. I do have enough sleep and I eat a lot. And I have the right to self-determination. It is not a crime. Likewise, ẹ̀yin náà ní right láti béèrè fún òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Yorùbá nation tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀, Odùduwà Republic. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ different views ló máa wà. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá gan á sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ kí Yorùbá kó dá dúró. Pé they have the right as well to say they want Nigeria. But a tún ṣàlàyé fún yín pé ìyàtọ̀ wà nínú tó ń pè ní indigenous people àti àwọn tó ń pè ní Nigeria tí wọ́n create ní 1914. Mo ń fi ti Ọlọ́run fi kí gbogbo yín. Mo ń fi ti Elédùmarè mo fi kí gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire. Èmi á máa sọ ní òrèkóòrè pé ìjà ẹ̀sìn kọ́ ni a gbé dání. We are not fighting because we do not agree or disagree with different religion that is practiced in Yoruba land. Kó tó bí àwa àti àwọn tí ó jẹ́ bàbá wa ni a gbọ́ pé ẹ̀sìn mẹ́ta ni wọ́n ń ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lótìtọ́ àwọn kan sọ pé àwọn ẹ̀sìn kan àjòjì ẹ̀sìn ni, àmọ́ nítorí ẹ̀kọ́ la ṣe ń jà pé a fẹ́ òmìnira Yorùbá. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé a fẹ́ òmìnira Yorùbá ni pé a fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè, and we have the right to self-determination. A bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ní APC làwọn fẹ́ tẹ̀lé, a bá wọn jà, a dẹ̀ bá wọn wí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹni tó náà fẹ́ follow AAC àbí PDP. Àmọ́ in tí a fi ń tó wọn létí ni pé àwa ni ìran ọmọ aládé, and we have been like that before Britain came in 1914. Gbogbo ẹni tí ó ń gbọ́ ètò Yorùbá Nation láwọn tó ti gbọ́, àwọn kan sọ pé wọ́n ì tí gbọ́, a ní ó kù díẹ̀ ni. Gbogbo agbègbè ní gbogbo local government ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá náà ni wọ́n ti máa gbọ́. Iṣẹ́ ò dúró nítorí pé kò ń ṣe àwa nìkan ni à ń sọ̀rọ̀ òmìnira Yorùbá. Òmìnira Yorùbá in tí wọ́n ti ń sọ kó tó di pé àwọn olóyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun dé tó fi dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń wọnú ètò lọ. Àmọ́ ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò, ǹjẹ́ gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní kí a máa fowó sí central account àti òmìnira security account. Àkáǹtì méjèèjì yìí ó ṣe pàtàkì, ó ṣe kókó nínú ìrìn àjò Yorùbá Nation tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ìwọ náà máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹni tí ó bá ń fẹ́ òmìnira pé kò sí nta fẹ́ ṣe tí a bá ní owó tó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àní lè ṣe. Èmi á tún máa fi àsìkò yìí máa fi rọ̀ wá, máa fi bẹ̀ wá pé ká jọ̀ọ́ ẹ túbọ̀ jẹ́ ká máa fi owó sínú àkáǹtì méjèèjì yẹn láti fi tẹ̀síwájú iṣẹ́ òmìnira Yorùbá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tó ń darí ètò náà látorí YSDM. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun, ẹ túbọ̀ bá wa ṣe ní kíákíá kó rọrùn fáwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n fẹ́ dáwó sínú àwọn àkáǹtì tí ẹ mú jáde. Nítorí pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn náà ló lè lo PayPal, àmọ́ a máa bẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa pé ẹ gbìyànjú, ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹni tí ó bá yé. Èyí tó ń lọ lókè yẹn òun ni finance@ysdf.ca for the PayPal. Owó kan ò kéré bí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àgbáyé bí a bá ń fowó sínú central account ó níbi tó máa dé. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń gba owó yẹn wọ́n mọ in tó tọ́ tó yẹ àti àsìkò tí wọ́n máa fi owó yẹn ṣe nǹkan mìírìmìírí láti fi ṣe ìrìn àjò tí a gbé dání. YSDM kò kí ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́, àwọn ni olùdarí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ pátápátá tí bàbá wa Ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà, the professor and Alana, Professor Banji Akintoye tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ tí wọ́n jẹ́ chairman. Mo kí the vice chairman àti gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n wà ní abẹ́ YSDM. Ǹjẹ́ yìí náà ti darapọ̀ mọ́ YSDM? Ẹ gbìyànjú láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ èyí tó ń lọ ní ìsàlẹ̀ òun ni à ń pè ní Òmìnira Yorùbá 2022. Òmìnira Yorùbá 2022 tí gbogbo wa ti sọ pé ó wà tó ṣe pàtàkì tó ṣe kókó pé it is important to also put fund for the security purpose. Kò kí ń ṣe ìyá wa Modúpẹ́ọlá Onítìrí Abíọ́lá ló ní access sí. It is for the security of the Yoruba land. A lè gbé ìtagbé dání báyìí kí a máa rántí pé security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ má rò pé àwọn gómìnà àwọn ni wọ́n máa kówó sílẹ̀ fún security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lótìtọ́ a mọ̀ pé owó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ wọn, àmọ́ ìtagbé dání kọ́ làwọn gbé dání. àwọn sì ń sọ pé 2023 election òun ni àwọn fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ọmọ Yorùbá lọ dìbò fún, and I will prove that again tonight that it is not worth dying for Nigeria for 2023. Kàkà kí 2023 wáyé, ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká darapọ̀ ká rìnrìn àjò papọ̀ kí òmìnira Yorùbá kó lè ṣeé ṣe. Kò kúkú ń ṣe èèyàn kan ló máa dá ṣe. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá náà ló ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti ṣe in tí à ń pè ní òmìnira Yorùbá. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń bẹ̀rù pé ǹjẹ́ àwọn máa ríṣẹ́ tí a bá gba Yorùbá nation. Yorùbá nation will provide everything, even our identity. And now we will start going into the conversation tonight. Láàárín méjì, a tún máa padà wá láti máa ṣàlàyé àwọn owó méjèèjì tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àgbáyé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Orúkọ mi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, KOIKIMEDIA. For record purpose, as usual, 22nd of July 2022. Àkúkú níwà forever. À ń bẹ Ọlọ́run pé k'Ọlọ́run fún wa lẹ́mìí gígùn àti àlàáfíà. In another 100 years maximum, added to your age tí o wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn, I will be 144, and I think, to be honest with you, I would just want people to remember me for the job that we have done. Kí ni ìwọ náà fẹ́ yẹ kó fi ẹ́ rántí nígbà tó bá lọ? The world is not going to be for you forever. We will all go at some point. But ǹjẹ́ o fẹ́ jẹ́ kó máa rántí pé a dúpẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gba òmìnira? And before I go into the conversation tonight, I want us to make sure that we have pen and paper. I will be giving a lot of different conversation or different information tó máa ṣe pàtàkì for argument's sake fáwọn tó ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation cannot happen. How many people know how many countries have literally break away to have their own independence in the last 20 years or thereabout? Do you know how many countries? I want to say whether people know. Let me put it this way. I'll rephrase that again. In the last 40 years of this world, immediately 40 plus. So that means in the last 40 years, ìlú mélòó lẹ mọ̀ pé ó ti gba òmìnira tira wọn in the last 40 years? Mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá. Ẹni tí ìbá ti dárúkọ ẹ̀ fún ìdí kan àbí ìdí kejì, gbogbo yín náà ni mò ń kí bí ẹ tún ṣe wọlé, because we will learn a lot of things tonight. I will remain as calm as possible because mo fẹ́ deliver message yìí kó yé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dáadáa. Ẹ máa láǹfààní àti pè wọlé, bọ̀ mo bẹ̀ yín torí Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè, ẹ má disturb mi nísìn nítorí àwọn information tí mo fẹ́ pass fún yín lórí ìrìn àjò tí a gbé dání. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki. Màá tún béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, how many people know how many countries in the last 40 years that have become a country? You can continue to guess, but I will give you the result in no time. I greet all my Biafra brothers and sisters. I greet people from the northern part of the country called the Hausas. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní Middle Belt. I greet everyone that is still thinking that there's a country called Nigeria. Nigeria is now coming to its final end, and we will wind it down before 2023. Once again, since nobody have an idea how many countries have become new country in the last 34 years, or 40 years rather, màá sọ fún yín pé 34 countries have been new countries and that have been recognized by United Nations. Màá tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, 34 new countries has been in these 40 years of, or in the last 40 years, let me put it that way. And let us start taking it one at a time. I'm going to show my back end screen so that you'll be able to see 5, okay. I want you to do 5 below. Again, I want you to have pen and paper. It will help you as we go along in this conversation. It will really help a lot of us because things that you don't know, I will expose it tonight so that Yoruba nation is not going to be the only country that wants independence. As we speak, there are so many countries. Olúkálùkù máa lo different ọ̀nà láti fi kúrò nínú ìlú tó wà ní. But one thing I can assure us is we are on the right track and we have no reason to be scared of. Once again, I welcome us into the conversation. Like I always say, I am only a media, and we will continue to use our media platform for the sacrifice of the Yoruba people. Even though the media, as we know, has been backlash by those that believe otherwise against the platform. But it's not going to stop KOIKIMEDIA. KOIKIMEDIA, I can assure us, Lashe Dumari, it will remain a Yoruba media without no advert. And I can assure you that continuously. KOIKIMEDIA will use 100% of its media platform just for Yoruba Nation until we get to the final declaration. And even after we've declared, KOIKIMEDIA, anytime fee, I know you have told me before, but I would advise that nobody should join any group that is just posted on our timeline because it is not by my approval. So I know that there's a person posting that. I've spoken with him before, but like I said, I do not approve any group because I do not know all the groups that we have across the length and breadth of the world. So if you join any group, you are joining that group on your own wish and on your own will. I know my platform goes with a lot of information and a lot of viewers. But again, if anything is posted, it is under your own will to go with whatever has been posted. So that is all I'm going to say. So if anybody's posting anything, not that I don't say it, but does not mean it's coming from KOIKIMEDIA. I don't have any WhatsApp group, and I don't have to have or own a group. All I know is people add us to different groups, just as you are also in different groups. So please, anytime posting it, I will refrain that you stop posting it. And there's always a way that people will find your group without really posting it, because people will think that maybe you're trying to scam them, even though you might have a good intention. So there's no point posting it. I can assure you that people will find a group and they will find you at the right time. So, Ampolongo Yoruba Nation, I think what you should be doing more is to go on the street and get the people around you. You don't need a diaspora to come and join a group in Badagry or in Ibadan or anywhere. Internet ni àwọn tó ń gbé ní agbègbè yẹn tí wọ́n ti gbọ́ Yoruba Nation. Àwọn ni kẹ́ try láti fà mọ́ra. Like I said, does not mean I don't know who is behind that particular group. But again, I'm only giving advice to those of you that are listening to me. Now, let's go into the conversation tonight. Again, get a lot of pen and paper to take notes. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun in different groups, different organizations, working around the clock. You know, mo ṣe bá àwọn young kan sọ̀rọ̀. They've traveled to outside Lagos. They are going to be having an event tomorrow. So there's a lot of people that are taking risk. Because in ìrìnàjò láti Lagos, any outside Yoruba land could be very dangerous. So ẹ jẹ́ ká máa rántí pé there are people moving on a daily basis. I'm aware that there's a rally coming up next week on the 28th. That is not the mega rally that Chief Sunday Igboho or Babakintoye or Iyonitiri, is going to be coming to announce to us. But the Ogun State group or a chapter or some individuals have decided to come up with a rally, which there's nothing wrong in that. But that is not the announcement of the major mega rally. I know they call it a mega rally, which they have the right to do so. There's nothing contradictory with the message. I've seen the flyer. There was an error with the flyer before. I think they've amended it. But just for us to know that that is not a mega rally. But that does not mean Kemalo Darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn if you want to make sure that Yoruba nation goes forward. Everybody must do everything within our own, effort. And everybody is doing different efforts. Effort oríṣiríṣi ọ̀tọ̀ lolúkálùkù ń ṣe. It's a Friday evening, and we're going to learn a lot tonight. So let's start going into the conversation. Like I said, please do not call my phone until otherwise when I request the line to be called. So I'm going to bring my screen up now. Yeah. And, okay, maybe I should reduce my camera because you will not really need my face that much. I want us to take a look at this information that I'm about to release now. All this information have been posted on our timeline in the last 1 hour. And it will be useful for you if you can also take your time to go and look at it and study it. Mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ijaya, I support you. Temi, my auntie, and every single one of you that have joined on all the platforms. I might not be able to mention all your names. Mr. Kendi Oseni and everyone who do it today, our Grace Olushoto, and every single person that have joined us tonight. Please let us not use the time to waste our energy. Let me just go straight to the conversation that I want to deliver tonight. This website is called worldpopulationreview.com. Màá tún share lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí just for the benefit of those of us that are watching me tonight. So you can also have access to it. Mo kí gbogbo Kristẹni pátápátá níbikíbi tí gbogbo yín wà. Mo kí bàbá wa Terry Ọmọládé, Ọláwálé Michael, ìyá wa Grace Senior JP, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin GR1, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Ìlànà Modua, and the rest of you in every part of Yoruba land. So I'm just going to quickly post that link. It will be useful for you should you need it as well. So that is just about that before we start going into the conversation. You will learn a lot tonight and it will make you very, very happy. It's called World Population Review. And if you go further down, it says the newest countries in 2022. Yoruba nation will be one of them. Let's share the marriage. Inshallah, Jesus Christ. The newest country, Yoruba nation, will be one of them before the end of the year. We don't need approval from anybody around the world. We declare Yoruba nation because we are indigenous people that wants to protect our heritage and our rights. Let's come to this. Mama kadie die kó lè bá yé wa. Ní tí mo fẹ́ kà jáde yìí, the United Nations that a lot of us have heard about, we know them. It was established on the 26th of June 1945. Presently, as of today, according to this World Population Review, United Nations recognized 193 countries. Ní gbogbo ìlú tí wọ́n recognize. Wọ́n dẹ̀ wá ní ìlú méjì kan tó ń pè ní observer states. But ǹjẹ́ yìí wá mọ̀ pé even though pé UN recognized 193 countries, FIFA recognized 211 member nations. So in tí mo fẹ́ fàyọ láàrin méjì, òun ni pé even though pé UN ò tí gbàgbọ́ pé gbogbo ìlú tí FIFA recognize làwọn máa gbàgbọ́ pé ìlú ni wọ́n, bọ̀ kò sí tó kan FIFA pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. FIFA recognized 211 member nations. Ẹ jẹ́ ká minus 211 from 193. So that means pé fún ìdí kan àbí ìdí kejì, United Nations refused to recognize 18 countries, but does not mean that those 18 countries are not operating as countries around the world. Mo kí dáadáa ìyá wa alálùbáríkà fún super chat. Mo ṣe gbójú super. I'm monitoring my screen from the mobile phone on YouTube because èmi náà ti wà ní back end, so I cannot see the YouTube, but the super chat has just popped up. Thank you so much, and every single person that continues to support KOIKIMEDIA. I want us to look at this very well. Ìlú 193 the United Nations recognized as countries, but FIFA, gbogbo wa la mọ̀ FIFA, kò sí tó kan FIFA pẹ̀lú pé UN recognize gbogbo ìlú àbí ó recognize. FIFA recognized another extra 18 yàtọ̀ sí ṣé báwo ló ṣe jẹ́ 19 ṣé calculator mi ò dá níbí báyìí 211 minus 193 is 18. Ẹ má mix the conversation and Mr. Israel. 18 countries more ni FIFA recognized. So give and take. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn tẹ̀rọ pé tá bá declare UN ò bá recognize wa kò mí pé FIFA ò lè recognize wa. That means pé a ní right láti lọ gbá football London FIFA, because FIFA, as far as they're concerned, they are not United Nations. FIFA is just a body that represents different football associations around the world. So let me just click on this so that we can go into it a little bit. So, kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ FIFA, right? FIFA World Cup host countries 2022. According to what we know, FIFA World Cup is an international football soccer tournament and one of the biggest sporting events in the world. Members of the Federation International, the Football Association, compete every 4 years for the title of the World Cup champion. The first World Cup champion was held in 1930 and followed up by tournaments have been held every 4 years, ọdún mẹ́rin mẹ́rin ló máa lọ ń gbà, since with the extension of 1942 and 1946 due to the World War II. Ibi tá fẹ́ lò kọ́ nìyẹn lálẹ́, but mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ rántí pé whether United Nations agree or allow us to be registered with them does not mean that Yoruba nation cannot operate as a nation. We will still be able to operate as a nation with or without United Nations. But we are expecting that United Nations will give that recognition of our new nation so that we can also have our own say in the United Nations as an organization. Tí United Nations bá sọ pé tá bá declare àwọn ọ̀fẹ́ wa, kò mean pé we cannot continue, because àwa kọ́ la máa kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ ìlú tí United Nations ò agree pẹ̀lú. 18 countries around the world won't operate. I'm going to try and find out those 18 countries. Mo ti ṣe research débẹ̀, but I will make effort to do that research so that a lè mọ àwọn ìlú wo gangan. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ láìdíà nínú àwọn ìlú yẹn, ẹ bá wa máa fi sínú comment section. Ẹni tó bá mọ ìlú tí UN ò tí àfún ní full sovereign nation pé wọ́n recognize, kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n kì í ṣèlú ní wọn, ìlú ni wọ́n, bọ̀ UN ni kò agree pẹ̀lú wọn, kò mí pé wọn ò lè máa ṣayé lọ. So gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà à ń sọ fún yín pé tí Yorùbá bá declare kò ń ṣe ìjà rárá. In tó kàn bá àwọn èèyàn lẹ́rù ni pé tá bá declare tíjọba Nàìjíríà bá gbé ogun wá bá wa, ìyẹn là ń pè ní a máa defend ara wa. Màá dẹ̀ sọ ìdí tí a ṣe máa defend ara wa. Mo fẹ́ ká lọ wo article yìí, and I'm going to share this article with us for those that wants to go and study it. It's just about 50 slides. It is called Indigenous People and the United Nations Human Rights System. Tí a bá declare lẹ́nìí tí Nigerian government bá gbé ọwọ́ láti fẹ́ wá bá wa, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sọ ìdí tó fẹ́ wá pa wá, tí wọ́n fẹ́ wá bá wa, nítorí pé we are the indigenous people, a dẹ̀ ní right according to United Nations human rights system, because àròfin ilẹ̀ wa kò ń ṣe tó bá jẹ́ pé a fẹ́ lọ encroach ilẹ̀ Haúsá àbí a fẹ́ lọ encroach ilẹ̀ Igbo, ìyẹn ni United Nations ò ní agree pẹ̀lú, nítorí pé a ti ń kọjá boundary wa. Boundary wa la ti ń ṣe operation pa fẹ́ declare. A ní lọ declare ní Kano nítorí pé àwa kọ́ la ní ilẹ̀ Kano. A lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti lọ declare ní north, àwa kọ́ la ní northern part of Nigeria. A ní right láti lọ declare ní ilẹ̀ Igbo because we do not own the Igbo land. But a ní ẹ̀tọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìtàn pè ní indigenous people to make a declaration with or without United Nations, with or without the international community. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìlú tí mo sọ pé they are 18 wọ́n operate presently with or without United Nations, with or without other countries supporting them. But I can assure you that àwọn ìlú tá à ń sọ yìí, gbogbo ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan náà ló ń operate whether directly or indirectly. Kódà North Korea tó jẹ́ olórí kunkun lágbàáyé, àwọn ìlú kan sì ń bá operate. And kò ń ṣe pé torí pé North Korea ní nuclear weapon, it is because àwọn ìlú kan believe pé for whatever reason àwọn ò ní láti gbọ́ sí America lẹ́nu pé America ò fẹ́ North Korea káwọn náà máa agree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. China still operates with North Korea and so many other countries like that in the world. So ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọkàn sí pé whether we declare now, ó máa fún wa ní setback, kò lè fún wa ní setback, in tó máa ṣe fún wa ní pé ó máa fún wa ní more argument in the world today láti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé Yoruba nation was a kingdom on its own that we are reclaiming back, and there is no crime about that as the indigenous people. I have not read this slide all the way through. I just come across it myself. But it will be useful for argument's sake that we, the indigenous people and the United Nations human rights system. So I just want us to note this. We're going to come back to this. But I want us to remember that 193 countries is recognized by United Nations. But yet they have 2 observer states. But that does not mean that FIFA will not have more nations more than United Nations. Now let's go further. And I can increase the front so that those of you that have small screen can read along with me. Most often, new countries formed when an established country split or dissolved. Ìdí tí ìlú ṣe máa wà established ni pé ìlú kan ó split àbí ó dissolve. Àwa kọ́ la máa kọ́kọ́ dissolve. 31 years ago, USSR tó ń pè ní Soviet Union was dissolved into 15 different countries. And today, àwọn ìlú yẹn, they continue to operate whether with United Nations or without United Nations. Other times, new countries have formed territories that have become independent from their mother host country, establishing themselves as a new sovereign nation. Okay. Ṣáwọn ló tí UN ò tí accept ní ẹ̀ ń bá mi fi síbẹ̀ yẹn. Thank you so much, if that is it. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki, and this is KOIKIMEDIA. New countries wọ́n máa ń dá sílẹ̀ nígbà tí ìlú tí ó jẹ́ mother host country wọn tí a rí pé ìlú yẹn ò kí ń ṣe ìlú wa gangan gẹ́gẹ́ bí indigenous people. We are not Nigerians. We are the real indigenous people that was kept under Nigeria for 62 years of a fake union. And we have right to declare a nation out of Nigeria without any crisis. Because the moment we declare and when there's a crisis, that means that country called Nigeria is now going against the human rights of we, the indigenous people. And if I go further a little bit into this article, where I've been able to read a little bit out of it, let's go into this, okay? And as you can see there, I'm going to highlight it. The rights of indigenous peoples have over the past 3 decades, láti 30 years ago, long way back, become an important component of international law and policy as a result of movement driven by the indigenous peoples, the civil society, international mechanisms, and the state at the domestic, regional, and international level. The United Nations human rights is a mechanism, law, and policy have been at the heart of these developments, with bodies such as the United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Population playing a groundbreaking role, which is continued by Human Rights Council and its mechanism in cooperation with other key actors, including the United Nations Permanent Forum on the Indigenous Issues. Now let's go further. One of his main achievements, ẹgbọ́rọ̀ yìí, ibi tí ó ti ṣe kókó tó wà important lélẹ̀. One of the most achievements was the General Assembly adoption that took place in 2007 of the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous People, which by 2010 was supported by the vast majority of United Nations member states and opposed by none. So that means pé tá bá declare lé alẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni, right wa ni, gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwa ni indigenous. Àwọn tó jẹ́ Fúlàní ò ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti sọ fún wa pé a lè declare. Yoruba politician ò ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti sọ fún wa pé a lè declare, because àwa ò kí ń ṣe Nàìjíríà, àwa ni indigenous people. Ọmọ nílẹ̀, ọmọ nílùú gangan òun ni àwa, and we have the right. Thank you so much, Christina, for joining. These are our full paying members that pay KOIKIMEDIA every month. And it doesn't cost them anything, that they believe that the media needs support. So when you see anybody with a green, we have to welcome them and we have to appreciate them. Moki gbogbo yín náà tẹ́tí wọlé, Yawa Liz Dada, another full member. And the rest of you that probably are not members of KOIKIMEDIA on YouTube, but you're also contributing one way or the other. Let me rephrase this again. Lára àwọn ètò tí UN ṣe ní 2007 ni pé ẹ̀tọ́ wà pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń jẹ́ indigenous people wọ́n supported ní 2010. It was a result of decade of negotiation. Wọ́n ṣe oríṣiríṣi negotiation kó tó di pé wọ́n adopt ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn máa bèèrè pé bó kí ló dé tí United Nations ò fún wa ní ká lọ declare. No, United Nations kọ́ ló máa ní kẹ́ lọ declare. United Nations òun sọ fẹ́yàn pé kó lọ declare. Àwa la máa lọ ṣe mega rally tí gbogbo àgbáyé máa rí. Bí aláti mega rally yẹn la máa wá declare. Tá máa fi wá sọ fún àgbáyé pé we want to stand on our own. Tí ìjọba ìlú yẹn bá fẹ́ gbé ọwọ́ kọ́wọ́, àwọn kan nínú member United Nations ló máa béèrè pé kí ni ìdí tí Nigerian government ṣe fẹ́ pa wọ́n, àbí kí ni ìdí tó ṣe ń yìnbọn pa wọ́n. Wá sọ fún Nigerian government pé ǹjẹ́ o mọ̀ pé àwọn indigenous people àwọn ló jáde pé àwọn fẹ́ dá dúró. So Nigerian government ọwọ́ wọn máa wà folded. Tí Nigerian government ò bá dẹ̀ gbọ́, United Nations will do what they call security summit meeting. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa gbé resolution jáde, and if the crisis continue, they might have to force Nigerian government into what we call genocide. And that means that the Nigerian government, dead or alive, Buhari, àti gbogbo àwọn tó jọ ń ṣèjọba, they would have to answer a criminal crime at the International Criminal Court. So ẹ̀yin tí ẹ mọ̀ bí kò tẹ ṣẹ́rí, ẹ̀yin ò tí mọ̀ the nitty gritty. Bóyá Lai Mohammed bóyá prison ló máa kú sí ní nǹkan tá à ń bá lọ ẹ̀. Bóyá Fáṣọlá because gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń ṣèjọba lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nígbà tá a bá declare tí military bá jáde a ní right láti gbé gbogbo wọn lọ sí court for crime against we the indigenous people. United Nations can see the genocide, there's no doubt about that, but we are talking about declaration here that will lead to us having our independent nation. United Nations will tell you that yes, the Secretary General was in Nigeria recently. Not that they don't see the genocide, but they are not going to do anything because said. So we have to go and take the necessary step, which we are doing already. We go do mega rally, we declare Yoruba nation, the Nigerian government invade us, it becomes a crime against humanity. So I'm going to come back to this now again. The newest country. Now, in the last 40 years alone, 34 new countries have been recognized by United Nations, which is widely regarded as the final step of becoming a fully realized country. Yoruba nation will be declared with or without United Nations, and if they want us, they will recognize us and we will be part of United Nations. And if they don't want us, they would have no other reason than to continue to become a side diplomat with us, because we have everything that it takes to stand as a nation. Once again, in the last 40 years alone, 34 new countries have been recognized by United Nations. We have no reason to be scared. We have no reason to be concerned about anybody, including United States of America, Great Britain, French, Germany, or all the G7. We have no reason to back down at this stage. We have no reason to say that we do not want to go further to the declaration of Yoruba nation. We will declare Yoruba nation, and we will also work with other countries that agree with us as the indigenous people, and those that disagree with us, we will continue to have a kind of diplomatic conversation until we can have ambassador in their country and they will have ambassador in our country. But no country, and I repeat that here, no country would have any right to remain on Yoruba soil without giving us their own recognition. They would have to remain in the northern part of Nigeria until they recognize us. And as an example, any country tó bá sọ pé àwọn ò ní fún wa ní recognition, they don't have any reason to operate on Yoruba land until we have a mutual agreement between us. Because wọ́n lè máa operate nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí àwa náà lè operate gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú nílùú tiwọn. They must allow us to operate, to set up our embassy where we can operate and look after Yoruba people in their country. We will do the same thing for them. They have the right to remain in the northern part of Nigeria. There's nothing wrong in that. We will give them the passageway to go to the north. But no country will be given access to Yoruba land, whether they like it or not. Let's continue. The newest nation in the world as of the newest nation in the world as of early 2022 is South Sudan, which split from Sudan in 2011. Ìlú tí a lè sọ pé ó jẹ́ ìlú tí ó ṣẹ̀ gba òmìnira òun ni South Sudan. Wọ́n kúrò lára Sudan ní 2011. Once again, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń bá wa lọ lórí ètò yìí. However, it may not hold the title for long. The Pacific island of Bougainville voted in 2021 to separate from Papua New Guinea. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. The Pacific island of Bougainville voted in 2021, which was just last year. So let's go and do a bit of background research on this specific island of Bougainville. Okay, so Bougainville, as you can see there, is a population of 300,000 as of 2019. And you can see right there. Location, Melanesia, Solomon Island. Population 300,000. And what does it look like there? It doesn't matter as long as the people are happy the way they are. So, Bougainville, the world next country. Let's take a look at them. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the live conversation. This article was written by Shanna McLeod. It was written in November 10, 2022. Bougainville, the world next country. By the time the world start hearing that Yoruba nation will declare, there will be a lot of media around the world that will take it up and they will start doing digging and background. I will be interviewed and they will have no other choice than to respect our views. Let's take a look at this article. Global superpowers are tracking Bougainville progress on independence from Papua New Guinea, with the mineral-rich island territory becoming number 194. The heart of the newest country. Okay? We say that it's 193. Okay? So, by now, this should be updated because if this article is saying that this country will be 194, and it's already said that here, because from this section. However, it may not hold the title long in South Sudan because Ilumi Tutuma breakout, which is Bougainville. Ilumi Tutuma breakout, which is Yoruba nation. So the Pacific island of Bougainville voted in Sherry Gbogbo àwọn ilé tá ń sọ yìí is just to give you ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ fẹ́yìn tí ẹ wà concern àbẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń bẹ̀rù fún dìkan àbí dìkejì. That's all. Torí pé ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń wà concern pé bóyá tí Yorùbá bá declare ǹjẹ́ kò ní di wàhálà, kò ní di ìjà, kò ní di gbogbo kíní ẹ̀, ìyẹn ni mo ṣe lọ gbé irú àwọn article yìí wá so that we can know that we are on the right track and we have no reasons in this world to be scared. So again, I go back to it. However, it may not hold the title for long. The Pacific island of Bougainville which voted in 2021 last year to separate from Papua New Guinea. Owani by 2027, which is another 5 years from now, because our in 2022, by 2027, 5 years from today, several additional territories and unrecognized countries are well on their way to achieving independence themselves. So, àgbáyé mọ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìlú máa jáde kúrò nínú ìlú tó wà presently. What if forecasting already? And Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt nation, whatever nation wants to come out of Nigeria is already been forecasted. So those of you at home, ọ̀rọ̀ Nigerian military kò lè solve problem tó wà nílẹ̀. Because why? Tí Nigerian government bá gbé ọwọ́ kọ́wọ́, àgbáyé máa sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n ń pè nǹkan kan ní right of indigenous people. I want you to remember that. Màá share article yìí, this particular PDF, for those that might want to go and read it further, so that ẹ lè ní understanding. Gbogbo táwa náà sọ yìí, ìdí tá a ṣe sọ ni pé because ó ti wà nínú òfin 2007, like I said, 2007 Declaration of the Indigenous òun lélẹ́yìí. Ó in tó wà ní online ni kò ń ṣe tí à ń fabricate àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. And everybody kí nìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé indigenous because a fẹ́ protect omi wa tí government fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. Kì í ṣe Nàìjíríà, so government ò ní right láti gbomi kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Regardless of whatever they want to call it. Wọ́n ní any right. Ọba kankan ò lè dá ohun tó wà nílẹ̀ dúró. Forget about the obstacle. We don't have any obstacle. When we declare ọba tó bá gbọ́, whatever is going to happen to them will happen to them. That's all. Ẹ má worry pé ọba kankan, nobody can stop the Yoruba nation. There's no obstacle. Gbogbo pé obstacle wà yẹn, ẹ ń fi fear sára yín ni lẹ́sìn sì sọ pé obstacle. Keep me ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tí mo sọ níbàyẹn. Mo ní we have the right. Ọba gan mọ̀ pé a ní right under the United Nations for declaration of the right of the indigenous people. So ọba olè wọn sọ pé ó máa fún wa ní setback. Ọba ẹ̀wọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ṣé bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ ní Ọ̀jájá the second àbí Awùjalẹ̀ àbí Aláké. Ọba wo ẹ̀mí béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín? I don't know because ẹ bá sọ pé àwọn ọba kan, I'm trying to find out which of the king. Which of the king? So let's come back here again. So this 2007 declaration is something that we must hold in our right hand. Kamafijeba. It was a declaration that has been approved in 2010 by all the vast majority of the members of the United Nations. So taba declare nisin, àwọn members yẹn mọ̀ pé a ní right láti declare, but America ò ní sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ lọ declare. UK ò ní sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ lọ declare. The world is not going to tell you to go and declare. Àwa la máa lọ declare nation wa tí àwọn wa mọ̀ pé right ni under declaration right tí wọ́n ti ṣe èyí ní 2010 tí gbogbo wọn agree sí. Because this was agreed by the members of the United Nations. Gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n agree lé lórí pé ìlúkìlú tó bá fẹ́ jáde láti declare ẹ̀tọ́ wà fún wọn as long as tí kò kí n ṣe pé wọ́n ń ṣe indigenous people. Kí ló ń pè ní indigenous people? Let me now go and give you this again. International activity on indigenous people issues has been expanded also in the regional human rights bodies such as the African and Inter-American human rights system and into the international law and policy areas as diverse as the environment, including the climate change, intellectual property and trade. Intellectual property wa òun ni omi wa, kò ń ṣe property Nigerian government, because kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nigerian government is a fabrication. Àwa la lómi wa. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ìyàwó Agbémileke. Àwa la ní omi wa. So international right wa ni intellectual property wa ni gbogbo mi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò ń ṣe intellectual property Fúlàní àbí Haúsá, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe intellectual property Nigeria. This fact sheet provide a read-friendly read-friendly overview of the United Nations human rights system and the right of the indigenous people. It is designed to give the readers. So, summary ta fẹ́ kà nísìn, ó fún yín ní right láti understand pé declaration Yorùbá nation kò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ ìjayà fún wa, kò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ ìbẹ̀rù fún wa pé Nigerian government máa kọ̀ kó sójà jáde láti inú barrack láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pààyàn. Right ti wà nínú òfin àgbáyé nítorí pé a jẹ́gẹ́ bí indigenous people. Tó bá yẹ pé a kì í ṣe indigenous people nísìn ni, a overthrow Nigerian government. Eléyìí ò kì í ṣe military coup, kò ń ṣe civilian coup. Àwa ọmọ nílẹ̀, àwa indigenous people. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa, bàbá mi Olúwatósìn àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. Mò ń sọ pé àwa ọmọ nílẹ̀ la fẹ́ gba ẹ̀tọ́ wa padà. Ìjọba Nàìjíríà ò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ gbé ọwọ́ láti fẹ́ pa wá. Tó bá fẹ́ pa wá, àwọn right tí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n máa sọ fún ìjọba Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti sọ fún already pé kó máa lọ wind down. A summary of the indigenous people's rights, an overview of the international human rights bodies and mechanism in relation to the indigenous people, a description of the activities of the Office of the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights, OHCHR, related to the indigenous people, a brief summary of the relevant regional human rights system as they engage with the indigenous people and protect their human rights. A summary of some United Nations agency beyond human rights framework engage in the indigenous people. So, kí ló ń pè ní indigenous people? Who are the indigenous people? Tá bá sọ pé indigenous people, àwọn wo ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Báwo la ṣe máa mọ ìyàtọ̀ indigenous people àtẹni tó sọ pé òun wọ́n Nàìjíríà? Because kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ wọ́n Nàìjíríà. One Nigeria was created out of the indigenous people. Wọ́n carve Nigeria kúrò nínú indigenous people ni. The zoo do not have to consider this right, but the right will be told to them after a declaration by the international community. The international community would tell Nigeria that since the indigenous people want to carve away, you just have to let them go because it is their right. Definitely, Nigerian government is not going to listen. But what I am trying to explain to those of you that are scared, concerned, ogun lẹ fẹ́ dálẹ̀ yo, wàhálà lẹ fẹ́ dálẹ̀. No, in tí mò ń ṣàlàyé fún yín ni pé ẹ̀tọ́ ti wà already tí gbogbo àgbáyé tó wà lọ́ndà United Nations. Tí Nàìjíríà náà fọwọ́ sí o, but Nigerian government ò ní láti agree pẹ̀lú àwa, but àwọn àgbáyé tó kù wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ agree pẹ̀lú wa nítorí pé tí gbogbo wọn declare nìyẹn ní 2007 tó fi di pé wọ́n approve ẹ̀ ní 2010. Who are the indigenous peoples? Àwọn wo ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Indigenous people live on all continents including the Yoruba land. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa Kalẹ̀ Jaiye Michael. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin náà tẹ́ ń support wa lọ́tùn lósì. Òun ló ń fà wá náà ní energy. And this will be something that ṣẹ́rí gbogbo tó ń lọ ní ẹ má concern ara yín o. Eléyìí tá à ń sọ yìí òun ni ká focus lé lórí because a ti fẹ́ débi agbami declaration. A dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kí àgbọ́yé àwọn nǹkan báyìí kó yé yín pé tá bá declare tá bá fọ́n sí títì bí ìjọba bá gbébọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbé machine gun gbogbogbò wọ́n máa sọ fún ìjọba Nàìjíríà pé ó dá gbọ́wọ́ dúró. Àwọn wo ló ń jà níbẹ̀ yẹn? Kí nìdí ló ṣe ń jà? Ìyẹn ni mo ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo èèyàn pé ẹ má máa sọ̀rọ̀ religion because tẹ bá mú religion pé I hate Muslim, I hate Christian, wọ́n á máa rò pé ìjẹ̀sìn là ń jà, ìjẹ̀sìn kọ́ dẹ̀ là ń jà. Because tí a bá jẹ́ kí yẹn kó jẹ́ the main focus point of what we do, the world will say, well, since it's Christian, Muslim, they can sort it out. We are not fighting because we hate each religion. Ìyẹn mo ṣe máa ń sọ because àwọn journalists kan máa lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo fídíò mi nígbà tá a bá declare. Wọ́n máa fi gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ. Wọ́n lè má gbọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán. But tó bá ń gbọ́ pé mo sọ pé indigenous people kò ń ṣe torí ẹ̀sìn là ń jà, then definitely they know that kí ló wá ń pè ní indigenous? Àwọn wo ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Àwa ìran ọmọ aládé ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀. Òyìnbó ló yọ kúrò ní wọ́n fi máa pè wá ní indigenous people mọ́. Normally kò jẹ́ ká máa jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Indigenous àwa ni ọmọ nílẹ̀. Mo understand ẹni tó bí sí Nàìjíríà ní 1960 or 1959 after the independence. Imagine tó bá jẹ́ pé kò sí Nàìjíríà ní 1960 tó bá jẹ́ pé Yorùbá kingdom ló wà, ṣé Nàìjíríà lẹ máa jẹ́ ni? A máa jẹ́ the indigenous people ni. So gbogbo yẹn ni àwọn àgbáyé ti jókòó lọ́ti rò lọ́ti jọ sọ lọ́ti agree pé òkè àwọn ibì kankan wà ní àgbáyé nígbà tí wọ́n ń ṣe colonial rule. Colonial era ó ti destroy so many things. Wọ́n ti kóríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn pọ̀ mọ́ra wọn tí gbogbo èèyàn wá fẹ́ yọra wọn kúrò nísìn. A lot of countries around the continent has been joined together during the colonial era, and people now want to stand as their own indigenous people rather than the country that was created for them. Whether it's Cameroon, it's not even just in Africa, it is also in Asia. People want to stand on their own as the indigenous. I don't want to be known as Nigeria. Why? I don't want to be known as Nigeria. Yes, we will do a big banner, like you said, that will say Declaration of our Self-Determination and Sovereignty. Just like the 21 meters Yoruba Nation flag we did. But again, tá bá ní owó ní tóun bá sílé, ẹ má ro ẹ̀fọ́ torí pé owó ló máa ń ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ dúdùn nínú ilé fún baálé ilé. So before we go further again, let me quickly give us, let's just take a bit of break on that because it might be too much for us. So let me just take a short break, a little bit, not too long. So just no. Sometimes we have to educate ourselves so that I lè mọ argument in time torí ẹ̀jà gangan. Mo mọ̀ pé fẹ́ máa gbọ́ pé máa gbẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Sometimes we will do that. Sometimes I want you to listen and learn. So ẹ bá fowó sí àwọn àkáǹtì tí a fi wọ̀nyí again. Ẹ bá fowó sí. One of this class is very interesting. I told you tonight we learn a lot. If you don't have enough data, please, ẹ má bínú. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. So let's go back again and continue with the conversation. My name is OLAMILEKAN, and the time is now 23:44. I'll push it a little bit, but I don't want to. Even if we don't finish today, I will come back tomorrow, but I will do it to a stage. And let's say about the 12 p.m., 15 minutes, I will open the phone line so that we can have some conversation around what we've discussed. Ẹ má ti dá ìbá tí wàá kúrò níbi tá a gbé dání nísìnyí. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ o. Tá a bá ti ṣojú òpó, àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ gbọ́ yẹn, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ máa mú ìyẹn mo ṣe ní kẹ́ mú pen and paper. Ẹ wá máa béèrè ìbéèrè. Látara ìbéèrè yẹn, àtúkọ̀ ọgbọ́n oríṣiríṣi nínú intern discourse. Ìyálámàlà kan ṣe kíní kan yẹn kọ́ la ẹ máa pè fún. Eléyìí tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé ní kẹ́ pè. So that ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá béèrè yẹn, á jẹ́ kí béèrè tèmi náà tó ìtọ́ béèrè lélẹ̀ èmi náà tún lọ. Ẹlòmíì tún lè bá wa pè kó bá wa answer. So yẹ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìnyí. So thank you so much, Mr. Olawale. So let's go back. I just want to bring my screen back up quickly so that we can then. We still have 15 minutes in the class. I love a short break. Ìlú yìí nígbà tí mo wà ní university, every time ló máa ń gba short break. A máa wò pé school náà lè lè ṣàtòrí Ọlọ́run. But bí ìwé ṣe lè wọrí nìyẹn. Now, tabatika, who are the indigenous people? A padà sí newest country yẹn. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín Alájà Ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé mú kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà ní Manchester and all over the world. Indigenous people live on all continents, from Arctic to Pacific, via Asia, Africa, and America. So, àgbáyé agree pé níbì kan ní Africa, níbì kan ní South West Africa, níbì kan ní Nàìjíríà, àwọn indigenous people ń gbé níbẹ̀. So, kò ṣe pé wọ́n mọ̀, àwa ni ká wá jẹ́ kí ògo yẹn kó jáde síta ká sọ fún wọn. Kò ń ṣe ìjà. America ò ní láti agree pẹ̀lú wa. Britain ò ní láti agree pẹ̀lú wa. Àákọ̀ jẹ́ káwọn náà mọ̀ pé since they agree pẹ̀lú wa, á bẹ́tà kẹ́sì wà ní north. Kájọ máa wájọ jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn foreign diplomat wa tó máa bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Ká fi máa agree mutual agreement because a gbọ́dọ̀ establish embassy tó jẹ́ ti Yorùbá nation sí gbogbo ìlú. Ìlú tó ò bá dẹ̀ ti ṣe tiwa, wọn ò nídìí láti wà lórí ilẹ̀ wa náà. It's as simple as that. There is no singular authoritative definition of indigenous people under international law and policy. The Indigenous Declaration does not set out any definition. So I will declare anytime. We'll set out any. You can make in part 1 to 3. Yeah, in time ṣe ní sí ni pé a máa ṣe ní part 1 ẹ ṣé gan ni. So àtúpadà part 2 part tá máa fi parí article 50 ni. But ibi báyìí la àkàdé number 7 ní sí. So number 7 la máa lò dé according to tí mo ń lò ní bí báyìí. Ẹ kí mi náà kọ sínú notepad mi. So today is 22nd of July. Happy birthday to those of you celebrating your birthday in the month of July. So àti wà ní number between 7 la wà nísìn. So 7 to 50 la dé. Ìyẹn ni who are indigenous people. Ẹ máa gbáradì. Gbogbo náà lè máa pè wọlé bọ̀. Ẹ máa ti pè mí sí. Ẹ fún wa ní 15 minutes kí lecturer fi open ojú òpó. Now, ó sọ kankan ní bíbáyìí tí mo fẹ́ ká gbé dání sọ́wọ́ dáadáa kó wà nínú inú faculty wa brain wa. Gbogbo wa náà la gbọ́ òyìnbó. Ẹ má rántí ẹ má wò pé òyìnbó ló fi kọ gbogbo kìíní. Màá wò bí a tó bá allow mi kí n copy ẹ̀. Okay, mo ti copy ẹ̀ báyìí nísìnyí. Màá lọ paste sórí page wa. Mo ti paste a lot of things. Màá tún ṣe àyàngbé for a translation so that a lè yé gbogbo ẹni tó bá gbọ́ òyìnbó dáadáa. Mo dẹ̀ láti fi link yẹn sísàlẹ̀ So mo ti ń lọ gbé lọ sórí page wa nísìn. So you can also go there and copy it. The PDF is also included, which you will be able to. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá à ń fi sórí page wa, ó wà important pé fún àǹfààní wa ni. Ẹ má kàn wò pé èèyàn kàn post nǹkan, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ copy ẹ mú dání sọ́wọ́. It will be useful for your argument for those that are saying that they don't know anything. So, mo ń bọ̀ ẹ má bínú. I'm just posting it on our timeline and we will come back. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wà lórí Mixlr. We already have 5 people that are listening to us. They cannot see anything, but trust me, they are listening attentively with their headphone plugged in or whatever device they are listening from. And I love every one of you. I appreciate you on all the platforms as well as we continue to educate ourselves and myself. There is no singular kò sí òfin kan tó fún wa ní definition pé these are the indigenous people under international law and policy. Also, Indigenous Declaration does not set out any definition. In fact, it is Article 9 and 33 states that indigenous peoples and individuals have right to belong to indigenous community or nation. Hallelujah. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ yẹn dáadáa. Article 9 àti 33 ó ń fi yé wa pé indigenous people, àwọn ọmọ ìran aládé ọmọ Yorùbá, a ní ẹ̀tọ́, a ní right láti dá nation tiwa sílẹ̀ nígbà tá a bá fẹ́ sí lára Nàìjíríà mọ́. Once again, the International Labour Organization Convention Concerning Indigenous and Tribal Peoples in Independent Countries, number 169, distinguish between tribal and indigenous people as follow, highlighting also the importance of self-identification. Ibẹ̀ yẹn ní agbára. Self-identification. Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? A fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí identity wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wo kí ló kọ níbí báyìí. I know I said I'm not going to use more, but I'm a dúró lórí number 7 yẹn náà ni, which we're not going to go too much. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wo number 1A. Tribal peoples in independent countries whose social, cultural, and economic condition distinguish them from other sections of national community whose status is regulated wholly or partially by their own customs or traditions or by their special laws or regulations. Number B. Peoples in independent countries who are regarded as indigenous on account of their descent from populations which inhabited the country or geographical region to which the country belongs at the time of conquest or colonization. Ṣé rí pé àárín yẹn ti yọ níbẹ̀ yẹn? Ó sọ pé people that are independent countries who are regarded as indigenous on account of their descent from the population which inhabited the country, geographical region to which the country belongs at the time of Okweru, táwọn òyìnbó wá kó wa lókweru, or the establishment of a present state boundaries, who irrespectively of their legal status retain some or all of their own social, economic, cultural, and political institutions. Self-identification as indigenous or tribal shall be regarded as a fundamental criterion for determining the groups to which the provisions of this convention apply. Now, before we finish this number 7, a little more than number 7 here. Despite lack of authoritative definition, there are criteria that help to define indigenous people. Àwọn criteria kan wà tó máa ń define pé àwa lọmọ Yorùbá, a kì í ṣe Nàìjíríà. Indigenous are we the son of the soil, that to say àwa ni ọmọ ojú olówó Yorùbá, ojúlówó Yorùbá, ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi, Alhaja Monsurat, ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé. Ẹ gbọ́ àlàyé yìí dáadáa. The part of the article is referring to us. Yes, you're right, Dr. Benjamin. They know, but they are added-minded people. mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Self-determination is a right. It's not a crime against any. Ẹ má worry nípa gbogbo nonsense táwọn media Nigeria sọ pé we are secessionists o. Jágbàjàgbà ló ń sọ. Àwọn yẹn ó dà pé journalist bọ́lẹ̀ kájà ni wọ́n. Because tó bá jẹ́ journalist gidi ni wọ́n ni, wọ́n á máa lọ wo àwọn argument kí ló dé tí Yorùbá fẹ́ dá dúró kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣèbí indigenous people ni wá. Historically, okay, despite the lack of authoritative definition, their criteria the main one is the criterion of self-identification. Ìyẹn nìkan ó tó láti sọ pé ká kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Because identity wa ti wà shielded. Mo rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yá mi beauty_mọ̀ on Instagram and the rest of you. Identity wa wọ́n ti gbá kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Wọ́n ń pè wá ní Nàìjíríà, àdé ṣe Nàìjíríà. Àwa ni ojú olówó ọmọ Yorùbá, akọni ọkùnrin, akọni obìnrin. The main one is the criterion or the criterion of self-identification, and those proposed by Joseph Martinez Cobo in a study of the problem of discrimination against indigenous populations, which include historically. Thank you so much. Ètùtù dé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Kúnlé Bakers. Ẹ̀yin òye má fún wa ní super chat. Ẹ bá ti wọlé báyìí bínú ni super chat ni. Thank you so much. Ọlọ́run máa fi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ inú àpò yẹn. I love you so much. Historically, continuity with the pre-invasion. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó ń sọ ní bíbá. Ẹ lo bíbá dáadáa. Wọ́n pe kinní kan ní pre-invasion and pre-colonial society that develop on their territories. Òyìnbó ló dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú. Ìjáyà. Mo rí ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́n mi tó dáa. A máa ṣojú òpó nísìnyí, ó kù 5 minutes. Dr. Benjamin, a determination to preserve, develop, and transmit to future generations. Ìyàwó list that the declaration of Yoruba nation is now. Kò sí, there's no doubt about it. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ declare ni. Ẹ̀gbọ́n bí tó lọ níbẹ̀. Historically, òyìnbó tó wá nígbà invasion, nígbà pre-colonial society that develop on their territories, àwọn ló dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú. Put the word on Google for pronunciation. Okay, thank you so much. I think I should do that, yeah? Òyìnbó yẹn ó ti máa ń pọ̀ jù jàre. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo pronunciation ẹ̀. Meaning.
Criterion.
Okay,
Criterion.
Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? A principle or standard by which something may be judged or decided. Thank you so much.
Criterion.
My brother, one and only Bashiru Mustafa. So, not to go further on this, we will come back and use this on the next program tomorrow. So, number 7, Lamando Deleni. So, distinctive, non-dominance, a determination to preserve, develop, and transmit to future generations. Dr. Benjamin, ìyàbá ẹ̀ ti lọ jíwèé wò mo tẹ̀rọ pé àṣẹ fífẹ́ náà rẹ̀ náà ti yé mi. Thank you so much. I love every one of you. Now, let's come back. I've brought out the latest country, okay? So, mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ láì díẹ̀ ilé kan tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gba call because àwọn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gba call nísìn. So, a fi ìlú iná síbẹ̀, Bougainville. So, Bougainville is also one of the country. But before we go into that, I want to come back here. So now, the top 5 newest country in the world, plus one waiting in the wings. Yoruba continue. Number 1, South Sudan split from Sudan. I'll take that again. South Sudan, Okmilara, Sudan in 2011. Kosovo, partially recognized, succeeded from Serbia in 2008, not yet fully recognized by United Nations. For the super chat. Thank you so much once again. Montenegro, yà kúrò lára Serbia. Gbogbo kan yà kúrò lára Serbia ní kí ló dé báyìí. So Biafra has the right to self-determination. The Hausa have the right to self-determination. The Middle Belt have the right. If Nigeria can split to 15 countries, I don't give a toss. I take that again. Kosovo, partially recognized, succeeded from Serbia in 2008. Not yet fully recognized by United Nations. And then so what? They continue to survive and do whatever they have to do. Montenegro separated from Serbia in 2006. East Timor gained independence from Indonesia in 1975, 3 years before I was born. Serbia separated from Montenegro in 2002. Okay, I'll check on him tomorrow. Omaluka. Okay. Though I haven't seen him doing a program that I've shared recently, but Mark Wilola, like I'm sure he's doing very well, but I'll check on him tomorrow. Serbia separated from Montenegro in 2000. Paula graduated from United Nations Trust Program in 1994. So what I've done is, and now before we take calls in just a minute, the fall of the Soviet Union and the new country boom of 1991 to 1993, the period of 1991 to 1993, okay, witnessed the birth of some 24 nations, thanks in the large part of one singular event, the dissolution of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic known as USSR. Starting in 1988 and ended in 1991, Nigeria will end by the grace of Almighty Creator Eledumare. Umapin to so many countries, and each of those countries will flourish. We will have better opportunity. We will not be intimidated. We will live a better life, and we will all die and knowing that we left something behind for the next generation to enjoy. So those of you that are scared, don't be worried, don't be scared. The line is now open for those of you that wants to now contribute, add one or two input to this conversation. The number will be up on the screen in just about a few minutes. So while I'm waiting for any call, I will just continue the conversation, okay? Tiko Bawa, I will definitely pick those calls. So the period of 1991 and 1993 also witnessed the birth. Between 1991 and 1993, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìlú in their dozen, 2 dozen, tó bá pè nǹkan ní 2 dozen, that is definitely dozen méjì, that's 24 countries ló jáde. We have our first caller, and I'm going to go straight to the caller. Hello, caller. Good evening and welcome. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Okay, network problem. We cannot hear you. I know you're there, but we cannot hear you. All right, there's a struggle between that. I cannot take that call anymore, so you will have to call back. Maybe you have to move your location. So while we're still waiting for calls, the number hasn't changed. It's the same thing. The number is the same number that everyone called on the studio. Bashir Ebanfi number and sit at please, my brother. Plus 44 74 044 05917. Let's hear from your view on this particular conversation. Because we want people to learn when they watch or come across this video in whatever way they come across it. So South Sudan is one of the countries that was mentioned. South Sudan is officially known as the Republic of South Sudan. It's a landlocked country in Central Africa. It is bordered by Ethiopia, Sudan, Central Africa Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and Kenya. Its population was estimated as 12 million as of 2019. It was founded, that means what Dale Ogba Uminirati ní July 9, 2011. Ìjọkíjọ tí a bá declare ìjọ ẹni ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ Independence Day wa. Maybe you don't know. Ìjọ tó bá ti declare Yoruba nation, it becomes the official date. America kọ́ ló máa fún wa ní date. United Nations kọ́ ló máa fún wa ní date. The date will be agreed by those our leaders that are working round the clock, and we're expecting that to happen as quickly as possible. Yawa Kone, hello Koiki, my brother, how are you? It's a pity I always watch your belated show. It pains me at the time. Okay, be am send the message say one call it wo itan se lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Hello caller, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Hello, ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sir.
Yes sir. Àwa náà fẹ́ dá sétò ni o.
Ẹ ti wà lórí ẹ̀.
Ẹlẹ́gbọ̀n, èmi ni ẹ̀gbọ́n o.
Okay.
Mo máa ń like action yìí gan-an.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
Thank you so much.
Pé ànígbà lọ́dún yìí, èèyàn tó bá ní ànígbà, kó lọ sùn.
Wọ́n ṣeré ni.
Mi ìfẹ́ ṣépè ní kó lọ sùn.
Wọ́n ṣeré ni.
Nǹkan tó bá máa gbà ni.
Kò sọgbọ́n ẹ̀.
A ṣe awareness náà. Ká ṣe awareness náà. Declaration náà ló ṣe máa já sí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Má ṣe awareness náà. Declaration náà ló máa já sí. Awólọ́wọ̀ ti sọ rí. Àwọn èèyàn kó bá sọ pé kí là ń sọ pé kí ni declaration Awólọ́wọ̀ ti sọ rí. nígbà tí Ojukwu bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun nígbà tí Awólọ́wọ̀ fẹ́ sọ fún Gowon ó ní kó má jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ òun ò ní òun which means Yorùbá máa declare as a nation. So kí là ń dẹ́rù bàrà wa fún? Ẹ má jẹ́ kí èèyàn kọ́kọ́ dẹ́rù bà wá. Pé èèyàn wo ló máa káwọn èèyàn jáde síta kí wọ́n declare ara wọn òun yẹn kó máa lọ́lé nígbà kí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Syria náà. Mo bọ ohun àìmọye àwọn ọmọ Syria tó lọ́lé. Ó jẹ́ pé nígbà tí kinní yẹn bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo wọn sọ pé wọn lè lọ́lé. Wọ́n lọ. So ẹ má ti ẹyẹ ju gbogbo yẹn lẹ̀. Bó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ọjọ́ kan ni ìlú ta wà yìí kọ́. Kí ni ìlú ta wà yìí kí ni wọ́n ṣe fún wa? Èèyàn ká wá sọ fún wa pé a lè declare pé ká má declare. Ìgbà wo ni má kó ní kú? Ìgbà wo ni má kó ní kú? Tabani ká má declare à ń sún ọjọ́ ìtẹ̀síwájú ni. Why ká ṣe máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún àwọn generation tó ń bọ̀? Nígbà tó yẹ pé a ní opportunity láti ṣe opportunity ni a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ni declaration yẹn ni àwọn tó ń ṣe awareness yẹn máa ṣe lọ kò dí yín lọ́wọ́ declaration ò dí yín lọ́wọ́ ẹ máa ṣe lọ bọ̀ ń pè kẹ́ máa fi fa àwọn èèyàn mọ́lẹ̀ kéèyàn kan máa fa èèyàn mọ́lẹ̀ pé má tí ì ṣe lè já ṣe lè tán awareness ò lè ọjọ́ wo lẹ lè sọ pé ẹ máa parí awareness kò lè lọ́jọ́ kò lè ní date continue ni therefore declaration gangan ni ká declare ìtumọ̀ declaration ni pé a gba òmìnira ayé wa ni a gba òmìnira security wa a gba òmìnira security oúnjẹ a gba òmìnira security ẹ̀sìn a gba òmìnira security àṣà a gba òmìnira security kíni foreign policy wa ọmọ ìlú wo gan la kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ kó mọ́ra Nàìjíríà ta ni wọ́n ń pè Nàìjíríà ṣe rí Nàìjíríà yẹn gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ corruption ni ìlú burúkú ni ta ni wọ́n ń pè Nàìjíríà ẹjẹ́ abira wa ta ni Nàìjíríà gbọ̀ngbọ̀n báwo lẹ ti lè define Nàìjíríà tí ẹ bá mú ẹ̀yà wọn ẹ̀yà ló di ilé ayé humanity kí ni ìtumọ̀ humanity òyìnbó fi ń tàn wá ni wọ́n ṣe kọ́ máa ń sọ humanity ni wọ́n ń gbé àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n kó láti Jamaica láti how many years kí wọ́n fọgbọ́n sọ pé wọ́n máa wọ́n ṣé ní ìtìjú ni o Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìwé ta kà ìtìjú ni o ìtìjú ńlá ni o pé èèyàn kan máa dúró anybody tó bá dúró síwájú pé ká má declare Yorùbá nation wọ́n máa àwọn ẹlẹ́dàá máa crush ẹ̀ dànù ni. Pé ká má declare kí ni a máa declaration gangan ni ká ṣe awareness declaration ni ká ṣe awareness declaration náà ṣe ni so kí là ń bá kiri.
Thank you so much.
Bàbá mi ẹ máa jí wa lọ ẹ máa jí wa lọ Ọlọ́run a máa dúró tì yín á dẹ̀ máa dúró tì ẹbí yín because kò bá sí àwọn ẹbí yín bẹ̀ ẹ lè ní agbára tẹ̀lé Ọlọ́run á dúró tì everybody yín ẹ ṣé gan bàbá mi.
Ìgbáradì fún declaration the mega rally is all what we need to start thinking and looking into. Ẹ jẹ́ kólúkálukú in your own little capacity. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń béèrè pé kí la máa ṣe kí làwọn máa ṣe ẹ máa ronú sí nísìn èyí tí wọ́n lè ṣe. Whatever you can do within your own small capacity you can do it as the ọmọ nílùú tí ìran ọmọ Yorùbá tó fi kúrò nínú oko ẹrú tí a wà. Àwọn kan ń béèrè pé kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn tó wà ní civil servant àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní gbogbo position Nàìjíríà nísìn ìjọ tá bá ti declare that means they wind down as well. They are no longer going to have anything to do with Nigeria does not mean that we cannot bring them back and review who they are and then say, okay, airport wa lele, ọmọ Yoruba wà ńbẹ̀, ọmọ Hausa wà ńbẹ̀. We will decide who will give the position to first. I know it's gonna be like, kí lẹ́yìn people ìtẹ́ ń sọ yìí, ẹ kàn jókòó ẹ sọ pé àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbì kan máa lọ. Ìjọ tí Nàìjíríà bá ti di pé a declare Yoruba nation, everything including the state operation must eventually stop. Anything that has to do with the operation of the land must stop officially until an interim government will be put in place, and then the constitution will be rolled out, and that constitution would have to be abided. Àwọn kan ní ẹ ṣé ó máa possible bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé kò ní ṣe kíní bẹ́ẹ̀. Whatever it is, the indigenous people will do as at that time. Gbogbo ohun tí ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ kọ́ ni a máa lè emphasize ní orí wa nísìn. But one thing we've got to always, let me remove the screen so that I can come back to my full screen. And if I need that screen again, I will come back to it. So let's come back to my full screen so that that way, àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. Whatever it takes is what we will do. Does not mean that the major aspect that people are concerned is the public officers and tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú state government. When the country is declared, the function of every state governor must stop with immediate effect. The function, ẹgbọ́n mi dáadáa, the function of your governor will stop. You might say, how is that going to happen? The governors are already aware as we are doing. But are they going to listen to us? Is the question that you will ask. Wọ́n ní dá wa lóhùn náà. Ilé mi pé wọ́n máa ní Sanwó-Olú máa dé ẹ lóhùn. Àbò kí ló mean by that? That is when things will become rough moving forward. Like you said, yeah, one thing will lead to another. We're not going to say everything live, but things will unfold itself to get to the final when the governor will know that he does not own that office anymore. We will find out how many people have been employed in each of the states when they start collecting, the information for those that will run the government or the interim government to start with. So anybody that is working presently, we don't usually say any that we are concerned. But what we are saying is, after the declaration, we are not taking any orders from Abuja anymore. Gbàṣẹ kankan mọ́ láti Abuja. Nígbà tá a bá dé ti gbàṣẹ láti Abuja, àwọn tó jẹ́ state governor and all their administrative and commissioners have no right anymore on us. It will be fire for fire when that time comes. And that's one thing that you have to now go and prepare. There will be chaos for some time, but there will be stability. I can assure you that. There will be stability. So there's no reason for you to be worried about. I've given you the analysis of if the Nigerian government take a route to do what they think they want to do, there's already a clause around the world that allows us to declare and move forward. The only thing that will tell the Nigerian government is, ilẹ̀ wo ló ń jà fún? Say not me want to know. Carve them out of Nigeria and let them remain independent. And the Nigerian government would then withdraw, and there will now be what they call the paperwork. Koiki, I heard that lot of countries are stakeholders in Nigeria. There are a lot of countries that are stakeholders in Nigeria. That's why I say those countries recognize us or they have nothing to do in the Yoruba land. Countries will vacate, I can assure you that, when crisis starts. So what we're going to be doing is we will have an engagement of relationship with them until we can agree a mutual agreement and set up embassies in the countries that wants to also have their representatives in Nigeria. The stakeholders cannot stop the breakup of Nigeria. So it doesn't matter how many countries are the stakeholders. In Nigeria presently, one need right to stop declaration. Some of them are probably looking forward to Nigeria breaking up because they've lost a lot from Nigeria, while some have gained a lot. So, a lot we should be expecting before 2023. We go straight to the next caller. Hello, caller.
How are you?
In
fact, I really appreciate you. You are a lecturer out of lecturers. Our boys were London, but somebody to somebody, but it's one. You don't want to qualify them. But you see, CSI, she want to see power here. Ni àwọn èèyàn ti láyà wọn ti já torí wọn kò ṣàkàrà mọ bóde ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. A 50-year-old person in Nigeria tó bá rí ọlọ́pàá ọmọ àṣàbùrẹ́tì àdẹ̀mọ̀ gbẹ́gbẹ́ ìbí tẹ́ pọ̀ ọmọ ọdún méjì bàtà ọlọ́pàá lérè pé what do you want? What is your mission? Why do you destroy that? Ìwọ̀n impact náà la fẹ́ lọ impact lẹ́wọ̀n èèyàn wa tó ti torí kó gbàgbé local people náà wẹ̀ náà wà. Àwọn náà mú àyà wọn já lọ́kọ̀ ní gbogbo nǹkan kó ṣàkàrà mọ́ wa.
I'm going to answer you, Mr. Olabi, in a minute.
Okay. Mo kàn sọ fún àwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n mọ́kàn wọn lé àdóde ìgbà tí Olúwa wí. That is that. Bájú nípa ọ̀rọ̀ civil servant. Kọ́ civil servant kọ́ lọ́pọ̀ kan balẹ̀.
Kò sí one reason to be scared and worried.
Àwọn ministry káàkiri wà. Àdèmọ̀ pé state, federal and local ló wà. Wọ́n ní staff numbers wọn. Àkọ́máṣe minus plus school ọ̀rọ̀ non-indigenous. Wọ́n padà sí kan. Àwa ìdíje àti kúwà. Temporarily, wọ́n ní the most senior ní local government. Kó tí kò wá bẹ̀ temporarily. Governor wọn tọrọ mélòó ní government? Gbogbo ìtì ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀.
Abuja ni gómìnà máa wà. A kọ̀ máa wòran ni. Ìjọba fi dúró sí Nàìjíríà gan ni.
Ọba tó bá dẹ̀ tó gbọ́ náà kẹ̀sì rèé, ó ní bá ṣe máa ṣe but wọ́n ní ọbẹ̀ kí mi fún àgbà. Ká dúró náà. Olúwa dúró tì yín o.
Àmín Jésù Kristi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ilé àtọ̀ náà Olúwa á dára o.
Àmín. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
I don continue with enticing us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Somebody asked a question which I want to answer, and you said, if declaration comes up and the Nigerian government start killing the indigenous people and the United Nations refuse to come in, what would be the next step? The next step is we would defend ourselves with whatever we can to defend ourselves from the invasion, because that means the Nigerian government is now an invader. But I can assure you that with a United Nations coming down or the international community, there will be a global news of this going on in Nigeria. That's why I said we must prepare for the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is what we've just talked about. The Nigerian government, that means the Nigerian government has now actually invaded us. Hey, do you understand? Am I wondering what do you mean by that? If in Nigeria, no, I'm Nigeria say. Indigenous people claim right to Pada. Ìlú kan tó wá invaded bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. Ẹ má ká fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ tó kù. Ẹ kò tí yẹn ní sè ìlú kan ó declare right lórí ilẹ̀ ta ní Nàìjíríà. Ìlú kan tọ́kọ̀ gbélé wa lórí ni. So a máa defend, but n tí gbogbo àwọn fẹ́ mọ̀ ni pé kí la fẹ́ fi defend gbogbo ẹ̀wọ̀n wa question àwọn nitty-gritty yẹn, but kò ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ orí social media nìyẹn. But a máa defend ilẹ̀ yẹn. I can even say we will defend it with our blood. Kẹ́lì mọ bó ṣe wà serious. We will defend it with our blood. So that's all I'm going to say. The line is open if you want to call in. Part 1, I'm not going to push it too much so that it doesn't choke us. Part 2 will be tomorrow again. But I'm just here now, just reading your comments and probably interacting. Interacting. A lot of things will be expected. Let's give an example. What happened with the airport as an example? Like I said, when we make a declaration, as at the time a declaration is made, all the orders is not coming from Abuja anymore. It's coming now from the interim government that will give us order. They will give us order, and those order is what we're going to follow. We are not going to start massacring and killing all other ethnic groups that are living among us. No, we're not going to do that. But from the day a declaration is made, they do not have any right to listen to anything called Nigeria anymore. If otherwise, they could be arrested temporarily until we reveal why they have disobeyed the new order. Order kan fẹ́ wọlé látọ̀dọ̀ Elédùmarè. Order yẹn ni order ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí a fi máa fi pàṣẹ nísìnyí orílẹ̀-èdè wa. So bí èèyàn kan bá lọ agídí, bójú ọmọ Yorùbá náà ni tó bá lọ agídí, a ní láti ṣe nǹkan kan fún ju pé kí ló dé tó ṣe fẹ́ gbọ́ order tí ó wà níta nísìn? Kí ló dé tó ń ṣorí kunkun? O gbọ́dọ̀ listen to the new order. Ìyẹn mo ṣe ní ká lọ máa gbáradì fún nǹkan tó ń bọ̀. New order ni àgbàṣẹ mọ́ láti federal government. Níjọ́ tó bá declare lálẹ́ yìí, order tí wọ́n bá ń fún wa nísìn la máa tẹ̀lé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ó bá sì ń sọ pé òun ò fẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ, à ní pé kó má gbọ́, kò gbọ́, kò fẹ́ gbọ́ àṣẹ tí wọ́n ń pa lórí ìlú yẹn mọ́ nísìnyí yẹn, ó ti rú òfin ìlú yẹn nìyẹn. And we have the right to detain him until thorough investigation will go ahead. Commissioner for Police kò gbọdọ̀ gbàṣẹ mọ́ láti federal government. Tó bá náà wọn ò gbọ́, à sọ fún pé new order ti wà níta, we have the right to detain and arrest him. A lot of people will be arrested and detained temporarily because a fẹ́ mọ kí ni reason tí à ń pàṣẹ tó tún rú àṣẹ. So èyí tẹ́ ń bẹ̀rù pé ọlọ́pàá máa wá mú yín yẹn, kò ní sí ọlọ́pàá tó fẹ́ mú yín mọ́ because new order ló máa wà níta. Òfin míì ló máa wà níta tá a máa fi máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé àwọn tó wà nílé náà ní bá wa ṣe o. Gbogbo àwọn tó wà nílé tó disagree pẹ̀lú wa because wọ́n ní right as long as they are indigenous people. Oh my God. Ìyẹn mo ṣe sọ pé o need láti kúrò ní Ogun State. Ó lè jẹ́ wọ̀la kan máa sọ pé ó da ẹ̀yin 400, ẹ̀yin 200 ẹ lọ sí local government yẹn, wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣúṣí local government yẹn mọ́ láàárọ̀ ọ̀la. I seal it up temporarily and we start doing what they call rescue mission and backup. Ibi tí a bá rí pé bóyá ó ń gbóná a gbọ́dọ̀ lọ rescue wọn níbẹ̀ because àwọn ibìkan máa hot jura wọn lọ. So tá a bá gbọ́ pé bóyá sójà ń disturb wọn níbẹ̀ yẹn, à á gbé mọ́tò à á move lọ síbẹ̀, à á lọ bèèrè lọ́wọ́ sójà yẹn pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, kí ló dé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbí báyìí. Tó o bá gbọ́ à á ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣọkọ ọmọ Yorùbá, à á detain ẹ̀, à á detain sójà yẹn. We will detain that soldier until we can ask questions. Hello, caller. Yes, it becomes a treasonable felony for any police to reject the order from Yoruba interim government. New world order, long way. Ẹ káàárọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, yes, ẹ káàárọ̀. Mo ti ń pè yín, Mr. Bukola ló ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Moment ń sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. Uncle mi, ẹ má bínú, mo ní kankan tí ẹ bá rántí about 2 months ago, mo bá yín sọ kankan nípa pé ká ní projector. Ṣọ́ yẹ yín dà?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
Ṣé ẹ rántí? Yes. Ó dẹ̀ wò ó sà ká tó ṣe mẹ́gàrà yẹn. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi sà? Ẹ rí àwọn major city. Ọlọ́run túbọ̀ máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́. Ẹ gbìyànjú o. Ọlọ́run ló máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́ sà. Àwọn major cities ní Yorùbá land ní òkè Èkó, Ìbàdàn, Ọ̀ṣun, Èkìtì, Ògùn, Kwara, Kogi, kí lórúkọ Oǹdó, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
Láwọn àti àmì ń gbọ́ nípa.
Ṣé rí projector yẹn sà? Ṣé ń pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kí ni àwọn benefit ìbánisọ̀ àbísà?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àti àwọn tí a lose, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi sà? Ẹ̀rọ tí ìkọ̀kọ̀ bá ń sọ nílò. Ṣé rí ní àwọn ibi tó bá jẹ́ bíi bóyá bíi T-junction oríta mẹ́ta tó jẹ́ pé tí projector yẹn tó bá bí ìkíní yẹn ká tó ṣe mẹ́gàrà, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi sà?
À ń gbọ́ yìí.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ nǹkan fún yín ọkọ mi, orí yín wà bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ṣé rí àwọn èèyàn wọ́n nà wọ́n, èmi máa ń fi awareness orí bí àwọn èèyàn ti wà, àwọn gan tí wọ́n kọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n ti mọ bó ṣe ń lọ sà. Ẹ̀yin náà àtàwọn bloggers tó ẹ̀yin náà lọ́nà àti mọ́mí onídìrí bàbá Akíntóyè yes Bánjí Akíntóyè bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà. Ní nǹkan tí mo discover ní last week sà, ẹ má bínú mo gbé mọ́tò mi fún rìwáyà kó bá mi ṣe ní Sango Ọ̀tà, ẹ má bínú. Nígbà tí mo wá bí, mo wá sọ fún bàbá yẹn, mo ní Wàsíù báwo ni àmọ́ ṣó mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń pè ní Yorùbá nation, ó lọ ń gbọ́, ó ní Sunday Igboho, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi sà? Ó ní Sunday Igboho àmọ́ lórí ẹ̀ wà ńbẹ̀.
Gbogbo peter ń lọ ìmú ti ọ̀nà ẹ jẹ́ ìsan ọkọ̀ fún ìsà.
Wọ́n ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Hold on alàgbà hold on alàgbà ṣé ń gbọ́ mi. Tàbá ẹ ní sùúrù èmi ò gbọ́ yín mọ́ ẹ ní sùúrù ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ mi nísìnyí. Tàbá ti declare Yorùbá nation a máa ṣe analysis fún gbogbo tó bá gbọ́ nígbà tó fi gba ẹ ní sùúrù nígbà tó fi gba Nàìjíríà kò tí gbogbo èèyàn ló gbọ́. Tàbá ti gba Yorùbá nation a ní access sí rédíò sí tẹlifíṣọ̀n gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yìí la máa polówó fún wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká fi sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ̀dí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ sà ẹ má bínú wọ mi ṣé ẹ rí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ẹ mọ nǹkan tó sọ sà. Ó ti ṣe fàyàwọ́ rí ẹ̀gbọ́n àwọn fàyàwọ́ nídìí ẹ mọ̀ pé ìdí òròkó lórúkọ ẹ̀ bọ́dà ó wá ní pé ó ní brọ́dà ó ní ṣe ọ̀dẹ́ bímọ ẹni tó súnmọ́ Sunday Igboho mo mọ Koiki mo ní Koiki spokesman Sunday Igboho ó ṣe wà ẹ́ ṣe ń gbọ́ mi ta.
Mo ń gbọ́ kí ló máa ń fi yẹn ṣe.
Ẹ mọ̀ nǹkan tó sọ ó ní ta ó ní ẹ̀rí gbogbo ibi tán ni wọ́n wà nísẹ́yìn gbogbo ẹ̀ káàkiri yẹn ó ní ṣe mọ̀ pé àwa tá a máa ṣe fàyàwọ́ ó ní ṣe mọ̀ pé alóògùn jẹ́ àní
bàbá ẹ má ṣáà gbogbo ẹ má ẹ̀ka fọ̀rọ̀ ògùn ṣáà gbogbo yẹn tá a bá ti declare Yorùbá nation we take control of the security irú ẹni yẹn náà a máa employ ẹ àríṣẹ́ tó máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò yé yín nísìn èyí tó important ni pé tá bá ti declare Yorùbá nation I take control gbogbo radio station television station a máa use that as an information to deliver fáwọn tó ti gbọ́ tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn ìgbà tó fẹ́ gba Nàìjíríà kò ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló gbọ́. So bó ṣe rí nìyẹn ẹ ṣe gan ni sir thank you and that's the fact. Tá bá ti declare Yorùbá nation we take control of the resources. The radio station will now have the right to start explaining things to people. Kó kọ́ la fẹ́ ṣe a fẹ́ gbà lónìí. Táwọn tó ebi ń pa tí yà ń jẹ. So we should not waste our energy to say we have to get everybody to listen and know and this and that. No. Anybody tó bá dẹ̀ ti listen sí wa, especially the security agency, that means pé treasonable felony, a máa detain wọn, a dẹ̀ máa gba weapon tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Tó bá dẹ̀ fi weapon pààyàn, a sì máa detain wọn. Èyí tá a bá rí mú, táwa náà bá ṣe padà lórí náà ṣe wá, a detain ẹ̀, a máa rẹjọ́ ní court, prison ló máa kú sí. Ẹgbọ́n sókè.
Hello. Ẹ káalẹ́ o gbogbo ilé.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ ìyá mi jálẹ̀ ní àti.
Èmi rẹ̀ pé nǹkan ta nídìí lọ́wọ́ ìbò ni pé ìpẹ̀lẹ́sọ̀ ìrọ̀gùn òun la nídìí. And àwọn tó ń bẹ̀rù tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù ní ìwọ́n mọ̀ bóyá Yorùbá ni wọ́n lè tàbí ọ̀kìtì Yorùbá torí ọmọ Yorùbá ni. Mo dẹ̀ jẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó jẹ́ pé mo tó ń pè ní Yorùbá díẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ fún àwọn oúnjẹ ìrànlẹ́ ìgbà ṣe. Nǹkan kan ṣoṣo tí àwọn èèyàn dúró dè ń gbà gbòó. Àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ mọ̀ àwọn kan gbàgbọ́ nínú pé wípé ìjọba tó bá ti rí kókó pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń gbé ìjọba mọ́ lẹ máa túmọ̀ nǹkan tó pẹ̀ ní Yorùbá. Pé à ń gbé èrò láti gbá ìráwọ̀ èèyàn kan pọ̀ wọ́n lẹ̀ bọ́ bàbá gbogbo bàbá títọ́ ìrètí kan ń fẹ́ tó láti tẹ̀. Torí delay is dangerous somehow. Gbogbo tá à ń sọ tá à ń ṣe dédé ìta ìfọ̀lá tó ń la yìí oníbodè jẹ́ pọ́ọ̀tì ìpínlẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá tó jára wọ́n gbé e. Ọmọ Yorùbá nílé ọmọ Yorùbá ọmọ èmi ni tó pè ní Yorùbá. Mo tó wá fẹ́ sọ àṣírí kan lẹ́nu yìí táwọn èèyàn mọ̀. Ẹ̀ka máa lọ sí ojú táwọn ọba ti pè yẹn. Àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ Yorùbá gbọ̀ngàn ní gbóló wà. Àwọn olóògbé tó lọ pa wọ́n yẹn tó sọ pé wọ́n pa wọ́n yẹn ìjọba làwọn èèyàn bẹ̀rù ni. Kì í ṣe báwọn èèyàn mọ́ tó lè ṣe. Declaration ni Koiki òun ni àlè. Kò sí pé à ń dúró yẹn wọ́n ní bó ṣe jẹ́ ewu ni bàbá mi. Kò sí ohun tó lè ṣe àwọn pípọ̀ wọn lè dìde lọ́la kọ́ tó pé jẹ́ ìta àwọn gbàjọba àwọn tó pàdé wọn gbàdọ̀ ìyẹ̀bù tó lóko àti tó bá ṣe bí. But the best táwọn bá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ yóò máa fẹ́ pè ju pé káwọn wá táwọn mọ́lẹ̀ lọ nítorí Ọlọ́run Koiki. Ohun tó bá lè ṣe ó declare ó táwọn èèyàn lẹ̀. Gbogbo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn Yorùbá ní ìdílé mọ́ tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá mi gbogbo tó ń jẹ́ fún mọ́ Yorùbá àbàṣe o. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ọdún gbogbo báyìí ló bẹ̀rù yẹn àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bóyá wọ́n ti jẹun ẹ̀mọ àwọn míì wà lórí pé bóyá àwọn ọmọ yẹn ti àwọn ọmọ náìtì àwọn bùtà àtọ̀ kíṣì ìwọ́n máa ṣe òye wọn. ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ kó fi Yorùbá lẹ̀ ẹ̀mí mọ ìwé inú ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ̀ ní ọmọ tó débẹ̀ ẹ̀mí mọ tó débẹ̀ inú gbọ́dọ̀ wà o àwọn Yorùbá ò sí fẹ́ o àwọn Yorùbá wà sí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀ inú gbọ́dọ̀ wọn ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹjọ́ kọ́ dálẹ̀ kan ẹjọ́ kọ́ dálẹ̀ ká mọ tó bí wòlé.
Thank you so much. Even àwọn tó ń support APC, PDP tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, they have the right to that. But ìjọ tí declaration bá ti wáyé, that seems to be it become something mo wá bí ṣe mo fẹ́ lo mo wá òyìnbó tí mo fẹ́ lò help me out. When a declaration is made, everything Nigeria is no longer is completely dissolved in Yoruba land. Òyìnbó tí mo wá nìyẹn. Tó bá ti declare Yoruba nation, everything Nigeria automatically dissolve and we take control back, rescue mission and backup. We will not attack anybody. But if anybody as at that time attack us back, we will defend ourselves. Whatever one we capture, and we will come back and deal with them on the international level and on our own local level. Hello, caller.
Kìnìún kì í jáde lọ́sàn-án bí kìnìún bá ti jáde lọ́sàn-án àbí ó ní tí mo ti rí lọ́sàn-án tí mo ti rí láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ mo ti rẹ̀ pé something is really coming up. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ fẹ́ bá mi pa àwọn èèyàn wa níyànjú àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ní north àsìkò ti tó kọ́ máa pọ̀ nílé. Gbogbo ètò lẹ ti ṣe o Mr. Koiki gbogbo ètò pátápátá láti ṣe èmi náà lórí channel mi léni mo ti pàrọwà tí wọn kọ́ máa pọ̀ nílé ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa sọ fún àwọn olókùn náà kókókó la máa ń rọ́ fàdítì ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kọ́ máa bá wa máa sọ fún àwọn tó wà ní north pé kọ́ máa pọ̀ nílé ilé tí tó ń wá ilé àwọn ilé tọ́nà ń dógún fún mi ní Nàìjíríà mo ti pe àwọn kan pé tán bá ń bọ̀ ìwọ̀n tó bá jọmọ́ Ondo state mo ní kó yọ̀ǹda ẹ̀ fún wọn kí àwọn tó dẹ̀ wà náà ní north kan ó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kó máa send owó sílé pé ẹ bá mi rẹ́ǹtì ilé kọ́kọ́ send ọmọ wọn kọ́ lè send ìyàwó wọn ìwọ̀n tó ní wúróbo tó yẹ kó ń ta ọjà kó gbìyànjú kó send owó kó send ọjà wọn kó wọn máa tà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nǹkan tó bọ̀ tó bá mọ̀ wọn ò ní sun orúkọ kan mọ́ ní north ẹ ṣe wẹ̀ pé tó.
ẹ ṣe kan ní bàbá mi thank you so much. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá wa nínú Olúwa. Àwọn bàbá wa nínú Olúwa both oníṣẹ̀ṣe Muslim and Christian wọ́n ní fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ tán. The day the Yoruba nation is declared, everything in Nigeria desist from being existing again in Nigeria. Àwọn tó ń béèrè pé owó àwọn tó wà ní bank, there's nothing wrong with your money in the bank because your data will still be with the bank. But the bank operation will stop as at the time a declaration is made. The operation of the stock market will stop in Yoruba land. There will not be any stock market. Only Maloni North. Operation Maloni North, but nílẹ̀ Yoruba, everything will be grounded for as long as those that are giving the orders will continue. Èmi kọ́ ni màmá give order. Mine will be a media that will continue. Ìgbà yẹn máa busy gan because we will continue to gbogbo pé a lè set up radio station lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ wọ́n máa set up installation tó àbá lè gba èyí tó ń jẹ́ tó ń operate lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. There is nothing gonna be FRSC anymore. It will be taken over. Gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ́kọ́ máa wọ pé ẹ máa ẹ̀ dìgbà fún maso. We take over everything. At the radio station, at the TV station, it will no longer operate on ó máa di bàbá wàhálà tí wọ́n bá gbọ́. Àwọn tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀. ẹ lọ sọ fún wọn pé Koiki ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ń bọ̀ ó ti súnmọ́ tán. Inú ọdún yìí náà ni. Inú ọdún yìí lọ pé. Inú ọdún yìí òun ni wọ́n pè. We take over everything. We are not going to take over the private stations, okay? Your private will continue to operate, but you will not operate known as Nigeria. No. To bá ti operate, that means kò ti rófin nìyẹn. Ẹ sọ fún àwọn tó wà nílé kó gbọ́ dáadáa, kó má lọ ṣe mistake. Tó bá ti lọ sọ pé this is a Nigerian clinic, ó ti rófin nìyẹn.
No.
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Mute background. Mute background. Mute background, please.
Yes. Hello, Shangwami.
I'm going. Ẹ reduce it, ẹ fi ń gbọ́ mi nínú ilé, ẹ reduce ìyẹn speak padà.
Okay, ẹ jẹ́ kí n kúrò níbi tí.
Ẹ lè wà níbẹ̀ kẹ́ máa gbọ́ra yín sínú the same message orí fóònù ẹ ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ tún gbọ́ra yín nínú ilé.
Okay, ṣé ó bẹ́ẹ̀ tàbá yìí?
À ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Okay, it's about the last caller lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ní north. Nǹkan tí mi ń wò ni pé tá a bá máa pín, kò ń ṣèjà àlé àwọn Haúsá tó wà lọ́dọ̀ wa àlé wọn, àwọn Ìgbò tó wà lọ́dọ̀ wa àlé wọn. You see, they can still be with us, they can live with us, just as we have àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà káàkiri all over the world, including even me and you that we live here in the UK. You see, so the only issue is that we don't want to be a part of Nigeria again. Nigeria has failed. It's a failed state. Nigeria is no more existing. You see, and Nigeria has expired since 2014. We don't want to be part of Nigeria again. We've exited Nigeria. We are not part of Nigeria. The Hausa people living with us, the Igbo people living with us, and other tribes and nationalities living with us, they are trying to still live with us. You see, but it's only that they will have to obey, our own law and order, which will now impose on our land and take charge of government affairs in our own land. Hello.
I'm going, sir.
So, and we expect others to abide with it. You see, if they do not abide with it, then our people, can start making their, can leave. You see, because when I mean our people can leave their land, but they have many of their people in our land already. You see, so the fear shouldn't be to that extent. They have their people there.
Well, that's why we advise them. Anisuru, that's why we need to advise them to move forward, because we don't know what is going to happen. We don't know what is going to happen. Should the situation, change on the other side. So if we say we don't have any intention to attack or kill anybody on our land, but if that starts happening on the other side, it will be too late for them. We don't know.
You see, Mr. Joki, Media, you see, now, the moment we declare the Yoruba nation, those that are not indigenous people or not Yorubas that live with us, automatically and have got jobs, professional jobs, or be employed in Yoruba land, automatically they become expatriates.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Then business people who has businesses in our land, the only issue is that they are not Yorubas, but they will only be taxed They are living on our land as people who are into business or who are investors who are managing their business. They will now pay their tax.
Yeah.
So we will have our embassy, and we expect them to have their own embassy as well too, and we expect others as well too, and we expect in other countries.
Animals ló wà lókè lọ́hùn. When there's a declaration, we don't know what is going to happen there, so the advice is for the people to come down. If they want to go back there later on, they can go back.
Sherry, at the moment, the way I speak that, we are, you see, so I think we are in control of our own destiny at the moment. I want a rumba. You might not know this.
We are not talking about that. We are talking about the safety of our people. Our safety, it's not about our destiny. At our destiny, are we not concerned about those that are there? We should be concerned.
Yes, we are, Mr. Kyoki, we are concerned about those that are there.
Okay.
But we have a lot of them there.
It doesn't matter. We have enough for them to come back home. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tóbi láti contain wọn. Ṣé wọ́n wá pọ̀ tó yẹn tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lè contain wọn? Definitely there's no doubt about that. But we are saying that the majority of them should start planning for the contingency. Tó bá dé tẹ́ bá sọ pé tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí massacre àwọn tó ń pa wọn, ṣe máa rán sójà wa lọ síbẹ̀ kó lọ rescue wọn.
The last attack in Jos, in Abuja, who attack in that killings take place story issue blasphemy or blasphemy. Lady tó wà ní Sokoto, this school of teaching school lórí blasphemy kò ṣe blasphemy Deborah. When they started to attack, I won't really say Christians. Christians now, they started to attack Christians and people that are not northerners who are known.
All right, okay, that's fine. So, sorry, I need to drag it so that we don't stop. What we just say is, whatever it is, we will still concern about them. That's what we are trying to say. Let them come back. If they don't want to come back, it's entirely up to them. Yeah.
Sherry, hello. Sherry, so they are already fully established.
It does not matter. It does not. Their life is more. Their life is more. Their life is more. Enisuru, Mr. Joseph. Their life is more important than Ugotowa establishing. They can take their life away from them within a speed of a second, and that for us is why we are saying that they should come back. They don't literally have to listen to us anyway. It's entirely up to them. I'm sure some of them are aware of it. Some of them are relocating. If they don't want to return back, it's entirely up to them. We can't force them. So I don't want us to waste too much energy on that. Problem to one here. We will continue to.
I'm not saying that mentioning it to them, alerting them that look, this is what's going to happen. They should make their way back. But at the same time, if you play it in a way whereby, look, the issue that we've exit Nigeria doesn't stop. We are not going to drive their own people away from our land.
So what you're saying indirectly, because I got to take another call. We spent about 8 minutes on this conversation, and I don't want us to drive it. So indirectly, what you're telling me that is there's not going to be fight. Everything is just going to be smooth.
Even I thought there's going to be a sort of
so tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ wa tá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí táwọn náà pa wá táwa náà pa wọ́n padà so kí lẹ rò kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní north. tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí sójà tó ń kó bọ̀ láti north tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa wọ́n nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ táwa náà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa wọ́n kí lẹ rò kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní north. 30 seconds. I had to spend more than 8 minutes. Kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ mo fẹ́ mọ̀.
I'm telling you, based on the psychology, based on psychology, Sherry, our learning momentum, we are the one pushing forward. They are the one holding
tó bá
us.
pa wá
We cannot let you.
answer question
You understand what I'm
psychology
saying?
tension
So more or less, they are taking us
answer
now. They
answer
are the
question
ones taking us now, more or less. If you
ní
don't know.
sùúrù answer question mi tó bá declare tí ó bá gbé sójà dé tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa àwọn èèyàn káwa náà pa wọ́n padà kí lẹ rò kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní north gbogbo psychology yẹn òyìnbó nìyẹn ẹ sọ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní north.
Èmi ò rò pé ṣẹ́rí èmi ò rò pé government máa gba ṣẹ́rí we have things that something that goes on social media now. They wouldn't want it to be that bad. Ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They will still want to keep it calm.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that's fine. All right, that argument is fine. We'll to get arguments. Oh yeah. You have the right to feel like that. Yes.
It's good. You can advise some people to come over, but it's not going to be all that easy.
All right, Eshegoni, thank you so much. I gotta let you go. It's 10 minutes we've spent between myself and you, and I think I've given him enough time to try to. So what a caller is saying is psychologically there's not going to be a fight. I pray so, and I pray to go very smooth. Thank you so much, the last caller. Hello, TJ. Welcome to the program. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Alafia. Yeah. I shared the mind.
Pẹ̀lú ọgọ́lọ́run gbogbo ẹ̀ aṣojú wa ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣojú wa ẹ jẹ́ ká máa rán wa létí pé there is no any way to better life without no sacrifice. Am I making a mistake? There must be a blood share. Some has to die for some has to live a better life. Am I making a part of our? Ẹ jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ di yẹn mú. Ìdílé tó ń pè ìran Yorùbá. I don't care anybody tó bá gbọ́ mi and I don't owe anybody apology. I'm not láwọn òbí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìran Yorùbá. Bí a ìran kan tó yẹ pé bí a olórí burúkú ní ẹni o.
I can call myself on Kata Wale or just about.
Let me just drop my own point.
No, not yet. TJ Masoro Mongo.
Okay. The reason why is that I'm part of Nigeria, that's Nigeria about the last 1960. And I'm claiming after separation of Nigeria as at now. Nísìnyí wọ́n tún wá sọ lójú ìṣe wọ́n fẹ́ gba water waste. Abẹ́ ẹ̀mọ́ kò tó fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin ni. Wọ́n bá ti gba omi yín tí federal government ń control seaport kò jí pé Lagos state ló control seaport mọ́. Wọ́n máa control omi tó bá wà ẹni kó jẹ́ lagoon lásán ni wọ́n máa control omi yẹn. Yorùbá ẹ̀dẹ̀ kàwé Yorùbá ò kàwé o. Yorùbá ò ka ìwé tí Yorùbá bá kàwé ṣe lẹ́ kí Yorùbá nìdí. Ó gba ẹ̀dẹ̀ tẹ̀lé bọ́dà Tinubu àbí bọ́dà Ṣoríbú. Ẹ̀kọ́ ń lọ sóko ìparun ni. Oko ìparun lẹ́ ń lọ. And gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ̀lé ń gbọ́dọ̀ wá Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀ ń pariwo Nàìjíríà ó dùn mí fáyé yín ti jóná. I swear I don't owe you any apology. I don't owe anybody any apology. Because fáyé yóò bá jóná up to date lọ́sí pariwo ọ̀gbìn papọ̀ ìṣúná. Tinubu ti wọlé fún yóò tún fi fraud election gbé òkè tó wà wọlé ẹ̀ máa ní free education ẹ̀ lè ń tẹ̀lé. Ó ṣe election ọ̀la ló máa pé 1 week lọ́sùn state Yorùbá mi ò mọ ọkọ tí bí Yorùbá wọ destiny kan ni àbí wọ́n charm àwọn youth Yorùbá ni I don't know. Ẹ dìbò fún ní Labour Party ẹ tún lọ dìbò fún àwọn olóyìnbó ẹ lè pariwo pé fẹ́ changes ó lè pariwo Yorùbá nation ẹ̀ ní dé àbí ẹ̀ mọ ọkọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni we are all in debt trap. What the first mistake next year just about a month we are counting months to that day ẹ ṣe mistake ẹ fọ́ ọ̀pẹ dìbò ṣèbí Tinubu ó ti mú gbàgede jáde àbí.
Kò tẹ̀ wá tẹ̀ stress TJ má stress ààrẹ there will be a declaration gbogbo tó ń sọ yẹn you are just even going to waste energy there will be a declaration in tó bá fẹ́ gbà ló máa gbà kò tẹ̀ ní láti máa sọ pé election is not going to happen because the declaration will happen whether I wan support the Yoruba nation or not. So declaration ní ká àdóde nìsín so àti fún àwọn bàbá any time frame between now and a particular time we expect a declaration n tó bá fẹ́ gbà ní kó gbà that's all so gbogbo èsì tó kàn pẹ̀lú election kankan lórí.
àwọn bàbá tí mo jẹ ní respect gidi lẹ́yìn Professor Banji Akintoye Chief Sunday Igboho àtàwọn some among of them gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re afẹ́sọ̀rí burúkú ẹ̀dìrà yín sílẹ̀ ìbílẹ̀ wa because láti ayé ìgbàdẹ ti gbé Afẹ́nifẹ́re jáde ìran Yorùbá gan èyí là ń padà sí àlọ́wájú so declaration ọgbọ́n ni main target wa.
That's it so òun ni ká boil energy wa ẹ má burn energy ẹ lórí àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re nǹkan kan yẹn declaration nítorí kálukú bá dẹ̀ fi ṣe kọ́ ló máa prepare fún that's all ẹ̀ tó bá ti rófin tá bá ti declare àgbà sí gidi fúnra wa that's all. That's it. I should don't need
declaration of Yoruba nation now before October 1st.
No problem.
Now before October 1st. or based on October 1st. We are no more celebrating October 1st.
Okay, no problem. Thanks so much.
We are no more celebrating October 1st. Let him make known on that day or before that day.
Okay.
So everyone should know where it belongs to.
Russia,
to Ukraine, we want the same thing. If we cannot fight for our freedom, when are we going to get a better life? If I was here,
let's get somebody else to get in. TJ, thank you so much. I know you have a lot to say. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's my brother TJ. I haven't heard from him for a while. Egbosoke baba mi, like Egbosoke baba. Yeah.
TJ ń para lọ́wọ́ ni.
Yeah, he's always like that. I haven't heard from him.
Kò sẹ́ni tọrọ yẹn sùn. Ẹ jọ kọ́là tó kọ́ before TJ tó sọ̀rọ̀ pé káwọn èèyàn wá ó ní pé káwọn èèyàn wá sí dòsí náà tí kò máa wà mẹ́kẹ́bìlì. Enough is enough. Ká tó máa gbà pé bí Yorùbá ṣe ń reason ni Fúlàní ṣe ń reason. Ìjà tí lọ́mọ Yorùbá kó gbé ìbọn lọ kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ máa yìn lọ àwọn èèyàn ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì rí. Ìjà tí lọ́mọ Yorùbá tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbénu borí. These people are barbarians, they are barbaric. They cannot reason with us. Normally, left for us. Oh, they are not peacefully. Are they taking it peaceful with us? They are not taking it peaceful with us. Check programs not go to the military. No one ever see my what about the Yoruba nation. Elia is better about him. Make face face war. They got it. Yeah. Come on, you about Wale and Magentoy. Trouble you, Baba Sheku see not. Never automatically Yoruba nation. Esa, she buy someone a lady one. A lady woman, she didn't want job and want to do. Ella is better. She pushed in 1999. Hello, baby, Baba me. Push in 1999, but Thomas on the baby. If I not show Gulende, if I not be sick, Gulende, or Gulende, what to Wale Latin, nothing by yet. All the two persons so straight into Coco Bulliemo. So, what to declare your nation? What is a good everybody to my poly? Everybody to my poly. Come on, everything peaceful. I live pada. Ẹni tó bá rí lẹ́tà ṣàkó dọ́kúmẹ́ǹtì ìwé ẹ̀ kó máa bọ̀. Wà á lè represent ẹ̀ fún Yorùbá government pé wo ilé mi tó wà nọ́ọ̀tì o wọ́n ti gbà o. Then we can give you anything as a compensate. Ìyẹn jẹ́ pé tó bá yẹ kí wọ́n ti gbà díẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àbí wọ́n ti jó lọ́hùn. Ṣùgbọ́n a proclaim Yorùbá nation ẹ má jẹ tàn yín. Ṣé ni Fúlàní máa yọ ọ̀bẹ síta tó máa yọ ìbọn síta ogun ni wọ́n á sọ dà. Àwọn àfẹ́ sọ́dọ̀ ogun náà ṣe bá wà wá ogun. Ẹ má jẹ tàn yín Fúlàní máa sọ lógun mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ṣé àwọn tó ń gba tó lọ sí Senegal tó bẹ̀ sí ń kó àwọn tó ń sọmọ Nàìjíríà tó ń kó wọn wọnú Nàìjíríà tó bẹ̀ sí ń kó aṣọ sí wọn lọ́rùn ṣé àwọn tó kó Boko Haram sínú civil defence tó kó Boko Haram sínú immigration tó kó Boko Haram sínú army nínú police ìmú gbogbo àwọn police wà níbẹ̀ yẹn mélòó gbogbo àwọn DPO wa mélòó ló jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá gbogbo wọn ọmọ Fúlàní ní gbogbo àwọn DPOs wọ̀nyẹn náà so kí la wá ń sọ. One make attempt nígbà tó máa lè pa wá débi they would like to take revenge on our people in the north. Ẹ má yẹ kó fẹ́ bí ẹ̀wọ̀n yẹn wá wéwu bàjẹ́ máa ń rí sí nìyẹn ìwé taka á sọ pé ìwé wa gan bóyá ó mú ọpọlọ wa ó tún mú kú sí ni pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìwé taka Kóìkì táwọn wo ló ń darí wa èyí ṣe Fúlàní ló fi ọ̀pá tó fi ń darí ẹ̀rọ náà fi ń darí wa ni ta ló ń darí wa pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìwé pẹ̀lú professorship ta ni àwọn wo ló ń darí wa èyí ṣe àwọn Fúlàní ló ń darí wa ni. Ẹ wò ó kẹ́nìbọ̀dì mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ta àwọn èèyàn wa pàṣẹ náà káwọn èèyàn máa bọ̀ lé àbọ̀rọ̀ pé káṣẹ́ pé káwọn èèyàn wá sì dúró sí náà ti ní pé àti múra tá a bá múra pé ẹni tí àṣẹ ọ̀gẹ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣe máa ń sọ in case of anything scenario for any eventuality we will be on the safer side ẹ fẹ́ tọ́ àwọn èèyàn wá padà ẹ̀ dẹ́gbàdé kan dúró sí north ẹ má dá ẹni ẹ̀ lò ó dáhùn sá.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. One thing we have to understand, Eshegoni is also one of our media personnel as well. We are in danger. Tabasopa is in danger. Ulafelo peacefully. We are already in danger, so we must expect a lot of things ahead. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning, my brother in truth.
Welcome.
God continue to bless you in the work you do for the Yoruba people. We all have a common denomination in this issue, and it's the Fulani people. That's my own main concern. bí agbọ̀mìnira through ìjà àbí through subtle settlement láàrin wa, we have them amongst us already, and they keep coming in every day. So we have to know within ourselves that we need to flush these barbarians out of our lands, whether they're friendly or unfriendly, because they have long agenda against the Yoruba people, against the entire Nigeria, the so-called indigenous people in Nigeria. They intend to take over your land. Now, numerously, okay, can you accept defeat? Okay, they expect that those people that they've chipped in now will remain on our land. So systematically, they will be mixing with our blood, which is the Yoruba blood. So they will be taking over gradually. So ìjà dispute lewa láàrin wọn tó ti ń gbé láàrin wa pẹ̀lú àwọn Yorùbá. Àwọn ọdẹ mọ bó ṣe ń jà bí ó ṣe kọ́ pààyàn. And èyí tó jẹ́ olúwo tó jẹ́ ọba, you can connect the dots. It's already happening. He's married one of their daughters. And they are already giving their people emirship on our land. So you already see what is happening. They might accept we are breaking away. However, the longer agenda carries on because they now have millions of themselves on our land. So how do we treat that as a big issue going forward? This is something that hasn't been discussed by any of you guys, and I'm proposing that we have a brainstorming team. We need that urgently so that we can start brainstorming in terms of eventuality of what's going to happen. In terms of Taba declared on, we have to prepare for emergency food tank, emergency doctors, and things like that. And all the key governmental parastatals, T and control, we have to have plan for them. And again, I'll propose again, we need to start a subtle takeover of our land. Tabateti declare go and need Latima take over. How can we do that? Elori flaggy Yoruba nation. Elori komo Muritala Mohammed Airport. Kede fioru koto mama je onwards. Kefisorie. Let's just test the water. Kawari koti Nigerian government fresh gongo. Because ori lewa lawa. Alilori flag yemu. By virtue of law, atikuro no Nigeria. Awala can waste time arawa because we haven't declared. They've already prepared for our declaration. Now, they are not going to take it lightly. They will rather fight to get out of Nigeria with the hope that they'll win. So we are wasting our time. We need to implement now by getting people together, brainstorm, how do we mitigate or foresee what could come as an impact of our declaration. So we need to start thinking in the brains of our enemies. What can they possibly do? Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So let's get people together. I'm quite happy to volunteer myself in terms of brainstorming. So let's get together and let's start talking about this. And I would say, I know you haven't spoken about dates that declare, but I would say at least 4 weeks of continuous announcement for them to buy food, enough food to last them for months, to keep at home, so that their mind and soul can be prepared for eventuality of the declaration. Because at the soja, at the runje and all that, it won't be possible. So I think that should be the next line. Then in news media, they need broadcast to drill it into their mind that they need to start preparing to buy emergency food into their homes for when declaration comes. So I love you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bless. Yeah, bye.
Once again, what you're looking at is United Nations Declaration on the Right of the Indigenous People. We're going to look into that in just about a few minutes as we continue to take more calls. Hello, caller.
Hello.
I'm going on.
Sir, last location 419. I call it, sir. I did call last location 419.
I'm going, sir.
I call it. Sir, I did go in Contingency for a lot of Polo, the top and a barrel. We really appreciate the Contingency post. I like our but if you announce because Bubu ready, I'm from Ondo West Mowa. King of that, what is your 2015? Come on, share. They're going to share, go to room, you're going to legalize. I read you. Even go, I won't book one when you're looking at the see at me. So, even go watching a pig or you to the Bifla Kinikiri. But I'm not ready for anything at your head. So, you don't declare like I'm modest, sir.
I'm sure.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, the lemon was time. Yeah, but so I'm sure the work on declaration on story the work that's go back to fair to or to aleti our na polongo etc. So it will not lórí ẹ lọ́wọ́.
I will fight this war with my thoughts. I'm ready to do anything, sir. More than that, social media.
Then.
So they go you because I don't go along them at them is I want to lead I want to buy people do donation and more happy pale donation and more like along. To put it out there, we got on one like along I see for like along.
Thank you so much. Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń bọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni láti Ondo West. And I appreciate the last caller as well. I know it's getting very hot in here. United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People. Oh no, that finish a program at 10. I'll see the next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
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 Hello. I'm going you. Ewa life, a mute background. I'm going. Mo ṣe ń gbọ́ra mi lọ́dọ̀ yín nínú ilé iṣẹ́ ní láti reduce ẹ̀ pátápátá because ó wọ́n fit padà.
Àti sí pátápátá. Gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo akúṣẹ́ Koiki, God bless you for the Lord will continue to uphold you and replenish you. Bàtí mo ẹ̀bọ̀bọ̀ tó sọ pé àwọn èèyàn wa máa kúrò nínú pé ó dà pé ìyẹn ni mo ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kò dé pé àwọn èèyàn ti sọ̀rọ̀ anyway but I still want to say one or two things. Ó dà pé maybe he's young or maybe it's just education yẹn kò ti jẹ́ kó vast he's not deep in things in Nigeria in the history of Nigeria. So I go deep ní tó bá lọ bí àwọn ọmọ Igbo tó wà ní North in 1966 àwa igan ńlá àwa àṣìrántí pé ìdajì wọn tó pa ọmọ pàjá pa everybody. So àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà wà ní school a máa ń ta aṣọ. They came empty, they came ìmí ìgan wọn ti yà wèrè. Àwọn and history oríṣiríṣi lọ́dẹ̀ kọ àwọn kúrò náà there was a guy tó ṣì wà láyé sí I was reading in history how he escaped the northern ìjà àwọn ọmọ Fúlàní àti Haúsá yẹn nígbà tí wàhálà dé tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wá Ìgbò tó máa pa àti Yorùbá tí àwọn èèyàn wa ń gbọ́n sìn tó takú sí ilẹ̀ Haúsá àwọn ń gbọ́n sìn àwọn gbọ́ngbọ́n mo ṣe pé tí wọ́n bá ti ní ẹ̀mí wọn lò tẹ́ bá ti lẹ́mìí yín lò ó ṣe jẹ́ pé etí yín ti di ó di jù by now tó wáyé pé etí yín ò di ó yẹ kẹ́ ti mú àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n máa bọ̀ ní south wọ́n kàn máa pa yín bí adìyẹ ni because ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ lórí máa di orí ẹ̀ mú sìn ni èèyàn kan tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ káwọn ọmọ ṣì wà náà káwọn ọmọ wà ń bí jẹ́ Fúlàní àtàwùjá jẹ́jẹ́ bí èèyàn àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń dúnbú èèyàn ní social media bó ṣe ń fi ọ̀hún èèyàn sílẹ̀ ní ọ̀bẹ̀gẹ̀ ṣé yóò làwọn wọ̀nyẹn ní abẹ́rànkó ṣé tó bá gbé yàn níwọ̀n àwọn máa sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò àwọn tó kúrò láti 60 wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ di ọ̀gá wọn ọ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀gá ṣe wọ́n da gbogbo system wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú jẹ́ kí ló bí mi lálẹ́ ọ̀lẹ́ tí ní máa fi bínú sọ wọ́n da gbogbo system wọ́n lé everybody dànù kúrò nílùú iṣẹ́ yóò làwọn wọ̀nyí àwọn tó wà láàrin wa tó máa lọ gbogbo àwọn tó wà nùgbò wa yẹn lákọ́kọ́ láti dì pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa tó bá yà wọ́n máa kẹ́rù wọn tí àwọn máa sá lọ tí abágbàlú wa tó bá fẹ́ padà nù wọ́n lè padà wọ́n á gbòfin wọ́n á gba papers wọ́n á gbogbo àwọn á dúró ṣé yóò làwọn yẹn ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ sí i o tó bá wù yín kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ síbẹ̀ tí jẹ́bá bridge yẹn bá ti tó bá ti collapse ẹ ti gbé nìyẹn ẹ fẹ́ sọ pé wàá jẹ ó ti mọ confession nìyẹn.
ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Article 25, indigenous people have the right to maintain and strengthen their distinctive spiritual relationship with their traditional owned or otherwise occupied and the used land territories, waters, coastal seas, and other resources to uphold a responsibility to future generations in this regard. And this particular Article 25 indigenous people have the right to maintain and strengthen their distinctive spiritual relation, whether Muslim nìyẹn ni Christian nìyẹn ni oníṣẹ̀ṣe nìyẹn, owned or otherwise occupied and used land, territories, waters. Omi yìí máa lọ fi gbà lọ́wọ́ wa nísìnyí tí gbogbo wa ń ṣe bí àtẹ pé kò kàn wá. Wọ́n fi gbọ̀mí lọ́wọ́ wa. Are we not concerned people? Ẹ bá máa ṣe ní kíákíá because the line is so extremely busy. Èèyàn kan béèrè pé báwo ni kí la máa ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ owó? All that will be worked along the line before a declaration. So ẹ ní láti wà worry. Owó tó bá ní nínú bank will be secured. Like I said, the name is what is coming down. The banks will still operate inside the Yoruba land, but there's nothing going to be called Nigeria. A new order will start coming out, and whether you believe it or not, Nigeria will break before 2023. That's all I'm going to say. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, the white lion.
Hey, go ahead. I'm going.
Yeah. First, it's more contribute in the waterway bill here. Normally, so 6 no year. Oh, with 70 kilometers, never back. That's the HOB. Backward. Normally, it's in city. Anywhere, it's not about all over the world. Come on, never get to the next. That's okay. Got a change here. And then again, ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹnìkan sọ̀rọ̀ kan sí ìgbésọ̀ ọ̀gá àwọn ìwà tó wà lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ìwà tó wà lọ́dọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wálé tá a bá dìde àwọn tí wọ́n tó wà lọ́dọ̀ wa gbọ́dọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tó bá fẹ́ padà wá bí wọ́n á gba ìwé wá ní ìwà tó bá wà lọ́run tí ó bá ń tọ́ sí tí ó bá wálé yóò yọ òun ní. So àwọn nọ́mbà ìsáàdúrà fún àwọn òun gbọ́dọ̀ máa tẹ̀lé àwọn ìwà tó wà lọ́dì ká máa bọ̀ wálé tó bá lè declare tí wọ́n bá wálé tó bá ní kó dìjà wọ́n máa pa wọ́n ní.
Once again, adúpẹ́ fún gbogbo èyí tí ẹ ti ń bá wa fi àníyàn sí. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. What we are looking at the moment is just the United Nations Declaration to Human Rights. Hello, caller.
Declare ọmọ ìgbéyìí wa láì àfọ́dù díẹ̀ kò sí gbà tí a lè fẹ́ jù ní ọlọ́ba kó fún wa létí gbogbo ká dúró dédé sí i lójú. Àìdá àwọn ìbánisọ̀ ọwọ́ sọ́pọ̀tì ìbánisọ̀ ìlẹ́jọ̀ ọmọ ìgbéyìí wa lọ jẹ́ kí wọ́n ká borí wọn.
Àṣẹ o.
Àkíyèsí mi yẹn.
Àṣẹ gan ni. Once again, adúpẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń dá sí lọ́tùn lósì. We have just maybe about less than an hour before I wind down the program at the early hours of this morning. We'll take the next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, go ahead.
Mo fẹ́ bèrè gangan ni lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ kan lánàá yẹn. So, nígbà tí mo dé tí mo wọ program yẹn. Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa owó kan tẹ ní British pé wọ́n yá lọ́wọ́ Yorùbá.
Ní 1930, British government yá £8.5 million lọ́wọ́ wa ní 1930 ní 1917 wọ́n yá 12 million pounds ní wọ́n tún wá gba another 6 million pounds tàfi sáfíìsì ogun tọ́jà tó ń pè ní imperial war Lugard ló kọ sínú ìwé nígbà tó ń deliver sí parliament.
mo fẹ́ wà láìsí nítorí mo kọ́ sí nìkan mo á fẹ́ láì mo ṣe ní màá bí lọ́ọ́ kí lè gbọ́ dáadáa ẹ ṣe gan ẹ kó ètò.
That's okay. Thank you so much. 1930 Britain yá owó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá 8.5 million pounds ní 1970 wọ́n yá 12 million pounds nígbà tó tún yá wọ́n tún gba 6 million pounds tí wọ́n fi sáfíìsì debt wọn. Hello caller ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Hello ẹ káalẹ́. Kí tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tó bá ní àwọn èèyàn north ọ̀sà Haúsá bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wà ní tẹ́ ẹ bá jọ̀rẹ̀ Haúsá tí problem bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ north ilé yìí ni wọ́n kọ̀ wá wọn á kọ́ pààyàn láti tí wọ́n yẹ wọ́n sọ ìkẹ́ tó ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká bá àwọn èèyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní ìgbà tí ń gbọ́rọ̀ ọgbọ́n tó bá fẹ́ wà ní tètè wáyé kó àwọn bíbí yìí ẹranko ni wọ́n tó káwá fìyẹn bẹ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ declaration pé lórí ilẹ̀ èdè wa ẹgbẹ́ tó sọ kílẹ̀ kan kú nígbà tí gbogbo Nàìjíríà bá bí àfúrájà kì í ṣe ọgbọ́n táwọ́lọ́wọ́ lò nìkan ló mú Biafra láti withdraw bí ò sí ọ̀dà Port Harcourt àti Calabar tí wọ́n tí wọ́n ráyè kan jẹ́ wọlé àbíwá tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìyẹn ebi tó pa wọ́n yẹn tó dẹ̀ fi pa wọ́n ni pé Port Harcourt àti Calabar sọ̀pọ̀tì wọn tó bá sọ̀pọ̀tì wọn ní Nàìjíríà ò ní sẹ́gun bẹ́ẹ̀ Biafra because wọ́n ti declare Biafra wọ́n ti ní owó tiwọn country bíi France ti bá wọn ṣe country bíi Israel ti bá wọn ṣe a lot of country tí wọ́n ti dá sí tó wọn but ebi yẹn torí Port Harcourt àti Calabar tí ò fọ́lọ́ wọn ni ló fi àjẹ wọn but kéèsì tàwa ò bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó sọ̀rọ̀ àdìwà ọmọ ìyá wa ni wọ́n kò sẹ́ni tó lè gbàgbọ́dé fún wa àti pé báwa dìkíríà orílẹ̀-èdè wa yíbo náà rẹ́dí láti dìkíríà middle belt rẹ́dí láti ṣe Haúsá mi ò rí nǹkan kan tí àwọn bàbá wa lè mọ dẹ́rù bá wọn láti kó tá a wà yìí opportunity la wà lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí láti dìkíríà lẹ́yìn àwọn olóṣèlú wa àtàwọn ọba Haúsá ò rẹ́dí láti bá wa yà nìkan wọ́n mọ̀ pé àṣebájá wọ́n mọ̀ àṣebájá àwọn olóṣèlú wa nìkan náà wọ́n lè jẹ́ sí wa and then Ìgbòho sábẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn olóṣèlú wa tá a bá ti kọ lẹ́tà sáwọn ọba tá a kọ lẹ́tà sáwọn olóṣèlú wa èyí tí ò bá ti dá àti tó ń wa ó fi ẹ̀dẹ́ ẹ̀ka káàdì nínú wọn ni òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìdílé ká sọ fúnra wa ibi tọ́rọ̀ ìdílé yìí téèyàn bá gbóná wo ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀ ọmọ bàbá òní bẹ̀rù àwọn ọba wa yẹn ibi tó bá ti ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kan tètè gbọ́ lásìkò tá a wà yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tá a gbé dání kì í sọ̀rọ̀ eré àbẹ́nìbọ̀dì ṣe eré orílẹ̀-èdè wa là ń sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀ oko ẹrú tán mú wa sí tó gẹ́ because understanding ni ò yáwọ̀ ọba ni ò lè yáwọ̀ olóṣèlú wa nígbà tí èèyàn fi bọ́tà tó kún fi ń kóyàn lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ èló ni wọn àwọn Haúsá ń fún wọn tó lè dàbí ká máa gba gbogbo resources wa nígbà tí Yorùbá state mẹ́fà péré nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń generate owó ju 30 state lọ àtúwàkà Kogi àti Ìlọrin mọ́ wọn níbo ni ti ń ṣerú ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí ọmọ Yorùbá jí gìrì àsìkò tó yẹ ká yíla wà gbogbo ọ̀nà táwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n bá fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìyá onítìrì ká bá gbogbo wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ká lè yẹ orílẹ̀-èdè fún wa kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè tí yẹ gbà àsìkò ẹ̀rù wọn láwà ẹ̀ àpò àtún láwà ẹ̀ ọdún ilé ìgbìmọ̀ àyà dẹ̀ fún wa sí lágbára ẹ ṣe.
ẹ ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ thank you so much. A máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo èyí tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fi owó sínú the security account ó wà important tá a bá ní enough owó ní security account òmìnira Yorùbá 2022 a lè wà níbí fún months, days, weeks. Money is needed to walk this final stage. We need to buy a lot of things to prepare for declaration. And the groups also have to do a lot Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. A gbọ́dọ̀ prepare mind wa. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. Let us do everything now to fund this declaration and the preparation. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gbogbo tó bá látọ̀ lásìkò yìí. How do you make payment? There are so many ways. The central account is the one scrolling on the top. finance@ysdf.ca. I know báwọn náà máa náwọn ètò tó fẹ́ gbé jáde. Thank you so much, Hope, for the super chat. We love you and we appreciate those that support the media platform. It goes a long way so that we can continue the good job that we are doing. There's no reason for us to be scared that the declaration will create things that we don't expect. But if we have our mind that we want to go, let me say this, the governors cannot stop what we are about to start. I'm talking about the governors in the Southwest. They cannot stop what is about to start. And what are we about to start? We want to take back control of the indigenous land. And we will do everything that we have been doing in accordance to the international law. The final part is to declare Yoruba nation. A country agree with us or not, do not stop us. But Elo Fowosino, both Òmìnira Yoruba is not an account to me. It is for the purpose to secure ourselves moving forward. Hello, caller.
Hello, Koiki. Yeah. October, your main man, not your fellow October. What I'm gonna say, thanks for everything you've been doing, and I really appreciate everything. What people have been saying, what everybody has been saying, they've been putting their own, they've been bringing their own ideas. And I took one caller's, input. I took it so much serious, and I want to relate with that. The caller that said we need a lot of brainstorming, and yes, we do need a lot of brainstorming. That is what, in fact, brainstorming is saying. In fact, the order of the day for one thing. So, like, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm already doing my little brainstorming, and I don't know how I can get it along to you so you can help me pass it to our daddy, our Baba Kitoye, so that, there's no how,
What I would say is if people are doing brainstorming, Yoruba land is so vast and it's big. And I believe if you have, let's say, give and take, maybe about 12 of you that are working on that brainstorming, what we expect is, whether as at the time before a declaration or not, the moment the situation of things become heat up, whatever you are brainstorming on should be ready to be activated on the ground, either directly on the ground or close to the borders. Some people are not even prepared to travel out of their domain. And we should also consider that some of us will move closer to the borders so that we can monitor things far away from US or Canada or Europe, wherever we are. So brainstorming is good, which I totally believe that a lot of people should be doing. And that's why the rescue mission and backup is part of the brainstorming.
Yeah.
And we need as many people, because we don't know, it's going to be uncertain. Look, if you judge ìlú tí wọ́n ti gba òmìnira rí, because nígbà táwọn gba tí wọ́n yẹn, wà níbẹ̀ physically láti rí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ló ní káwa wà láyé nísìn, a fẹ́ witness tí a lè emphasize pé nǹkan báyìí ló lè lọ ṣẹlẹ̀, nǹkan báyìí ló lè lọ ṣẹlẹ̀. But what we want people to do is, okay, àwa máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wò pé okay, sector ilé mi mọ̀ dáadáa. Ǹjẹ́ tó bá lọ destroy nǹkan kan, ǹjẹ́ àwa tẹ̀ lè pull up nǹkan kan temporarily tó lè máa run pending the time, because whether we like it or not, there will be a collateral damage that the government will do. Because the government knows that we will go. Forget about gbogbo tó ń lọ pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ APC PDP. Ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí, government knows that it will be coming through, and that is why they are moving the military artillery to the southeast and to the southwest.
Yeah, I know. So, like I said, I'm already doing some brainstorming. I'm already putting things together. I don't know how I can get your email so you can...
musakalam@gmail.com. I'll send a scene after the conversation.
Yeah, please. You can send it to my...
send it by this. Oh my God, or anything.
Yeah. So when you send it, I'll put everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, báwo ni ṣe sọ pé ó ní bá ṣe máa ṣe mi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ jù, because èmi nísìnyí mo fẹ́ kóòdù àwọn nǹkan mi sọ pé á dọ́dọ̀ yín, á lè dọ́dọ̀ àwọn bàbá Akíntóyè. So tẹ́ bá wá ní láti pè mí, màá wá fún yín ní mú intel lórí brainstorming ti tèmi.
Okay. All right.
Ó ti yẹ láti yẹ mi. Mo fẹ́ kí nǹkan tí mo ti put it together, mo ti type it. Ó ti tó almost 2,000 words.
Very good.
Almost 2,000 words.
Very good. Very good.
You understand what I'm saying?
And we need as many of that.
You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say too much.
No, don't say too much. And we don't. No. You don't have to say. Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
So that's just what I'm going to say.
Thank you so much. Okay. No problem. I think also what I expect by now, which we are already looking at. For me, I look at a lot of things ahead. By now, we should have a strong situation room within the borderline. I don't know whether they're already preparing for that, but we are already looking into that. I've already been looking into that. Whether it's a small room, whether it's a big room, that we would have there, that it will be coded. Nobody will know. Are you also thinking in that direction? Or you are just coming here, look at the program, call in, and then tomorrow you expect me to come again? Kilo to Masalola. Are you also thinking of that? You can see that a lot is needed. A lot of things is needed. Majority of the things will be on the ground. I'm talking about things that maybe but we should also prepare our own. There must be a lot of contingency plan. The first thing is we secure the borders. Every Yoruba youth will automatically have the right to defend and carry a rifle should that time arise, to defend our land. Every Yoruba sons and daughters. There's nothing wrong in saying that, and we should not be scared. We will have the right to carry rifle to defend our land automatically. Tobati declare Yoruba nation. Everybody, àwọn ọ̀bọ̀n ṣakabùlà lẹ́ni ní ẹgbọ́dọ̀ pín jáde. Because àmọ́ tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀. Everybody. automatically. The fight is nothing more than we are going peacefully, but we are automatically knowing that our governors will collude with the Fulanis and say, hit them hard. And if that happens, those governors will pay a dear consequence when everything settles down. We will go after each one of them and their family, and they will have to come and answer a case in the court. So you better start telling them that this is no longer business as usual. Let's go straight and take more calls. Because of the time. 23rd now, July 2022. Ago Kwabo. Ló ṣe fẹ́ lù lọ́dọ̀ wa níbí. Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Okay. Ẹ ṣe sà nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó wà ní ilẹ̀ Haúsá. Ibi tí mo ti ń pè Yobe mo ti ń pè.
Yobe State.
Mo ti ń pè.
Okay.
Family mi ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ wọn tí wà ń bàdàn.
Adúpẹ́ fẹ́lẹ́ dùn mí.
Ẹrù mi gan ti wà ní mo ti kú òṣìṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ sílé. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mi sà?
Mo ń gbọ́ yín dáàdì. Mo ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Okay. Now, mo ti wà ní èmi nìkan mo wà ní kiri mo fẹ́ àlàyé mo kàn fẹ́ gbé pé tí ẹ mọ̀ kí wọ́n ṣe declaration ó yẹ kí wọ́n ní ọ̀nà ọ̀fẹ́ ṣe rally. So tí rally yẹn bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ máa mọ̀ pé tọ́ I will just come down home.
No
So
problem.
ṣé wọ́n máa ṣe rally before the declaration? Mo ní
There will be a rally before a declaration. From what I've been told, it could change, but for now there will be a rally before a declaration.
Before ṣe sà ṣe gan adúpẹ́ yóò bẹ̀ mọ́ wàá lè o Boko Haram. Ẹ ṣe sà.
Ọlọ́run bá máa fi ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ní ànílé wà lọ.
Àmì sà ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá ti lè declare báyìí àwọn bí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń pa àwọn sádàrà ní wọ́n fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá kìíní tó bá ti lè declare ní south báyìí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń pààyàn ní wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bẹ́rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kọ́dọ̀ máa jẹ́ mo ti wà mí mo ti mọ̀ wà náà ìmùgbà àwọn tó mọ̀ ọdẹ mọ̀ àwa tá a jẹ́ tá a ṣe èèyàn wọn àwọn ọmọ wọn fọ àìyàn tó yẹ pé ó máa fún ní nǹkan olùkọ́ ló máa ní ẹni wà ní wà bí nǹkan wà bá.
A dúpẹ́ pé àwọn family ti wá sísàlẹ̀. You can do the same thing. Kí lẹ máa ṣe tẹ́ bá délẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ó bẹ́tà kẹ́ du ẹ̀mí yín kẹ́ tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí lẹ máa ṣe. Ẹni bá wà láyé ló máa lè sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló fẹ́ ṣe. Hello caller.
Hello. Yes. Sorry, I've been wanting to contribute to this matter at the moment. The man said that people can remain in the north.
Okay.
I just want to make it clearer and give people points that there's no reason for them to be in the north.
Okay.
For this thing I'm about to say now. If you leave, if you declare, you as Yorubas, if we declare Yoruba nation, okay, this is our nation, is it going to affect the Hausas in a way? Yes. Is it going to affect their economy? Yes. Are they going to struggle financially like the citizens? Yes. And you call yourself the Yoruba man, you are there, you are saying you have business there. You are packing their money and you think they will be looking at you. The xenophobia that will happen, it will be worse than that of South Africa.
Okay.
Because you can't be packing their money and your people say they declare that and they are suffering because of the decision of your people. Because at the end of the day, they own more local governments and the revenue is being shared through local governments. So and about 60% of most of these local governments depend on the national revenue, national cake. No resources. People work on that government. Many of them, develop their states through the revenue. They wait for it patiently, earnestly, for the federal government to pay that revenue. Then you say, okay, there is Yoruba. The money coming from Lagos, from the seaports and other places, is not going to them again. Now that look inwards. You, because you have an established business, you are making money. And these people will look at you, making their money. There is going to be.
So there's no way that they're not going to get angry.
You can't dodge it. You cannot escape it. Let's not deceive ourselves. You cannot escape
because we are going to create uncertainty for them when there's a declaration. So there's no way they're not going to react.
They must.
They must.
Because they can't be struggling and you call yourself a Yoruba man and you are having because for you to want to remain in that business in the north, it means your business is doing fine. So you can't be fine as a Yoruba man and live in the north because your Yoruba people put them there. Put them in that situation rather.
Okay.
You can't be fine. It is just normal. They will be angry seeing you fine. They will be angry seeing you doing good. So whoever thinks the idea of nobody can remain, no, they can remain. You just want to save them for the calamity that is yet to happen.
Okay.
So that's my point.
Well, thank you so much for the contribution. And thank you so much. Those of you that always say somebody should speak Yoruba, what do I mean by that? He has the right to speak what he's comfortable with, does not even mean that he's not a Yoruba person. Do you know how many diaspora children that we want to make sure we carry along? I want to carry every diaspora, some of them to speak the same kind of fluent Yoruba that we are speaking. They can listen, but they might not be able to fluently speak it back. What do we do with them? Do you know that these are the generation that are struggling in Europe? Do you think that some of these children are happy? They have British passport. They are lost in terms of their identity. Our real identity is not that passport. The passport, Tony passport, is only giving them access to travel and remain legal in the country that they are. When a nation comes, as we are saying in our own land as well, we will now know the kind of value that we are. As a Nigerian, as you are not now, you are not valued. Mo ti ṣe video lórí. Yàn kan mo send a video and sínú group kan. Ẹni yẹn kọ episode mo tẹ̀ ráyè kà. Nigeria hate us does not mean that the indigenous people hate each other. Nigeria ni mo ń sọ kò ń ṣe àwọn Nigerians tó wà nínú ẹ̀. Because the Nigerians are the indigenous people. We might disagree with ourselves. We might not have, cordial relationship in every aspect of life. But I am talking about the country called Nigeria hates every single one of us. I'm a parí ètò yìí ní aago méjì, so we just have about 20 minutes so that you have an idea what time is going to end. 20 minutes from now. Hello, sir. Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè bàbá wa. Amen.
Àwọn tí ó bá ka bíbélì dáadáa ní ayé àtijọ́ tó bá fẹ́ lọ ja ogun. Nǹkan kan tó máa ń ṣe ní wípé wọ́n á ṣe nǹkan tó ń pè ní blockade. Wọ́n á block ìlú yẹn fún. Ní nǹkan yẹn náà làwọn Fúlàní dẹ̀ ti fi fún wa block méjì náà lò. Ìkíní òun ni èèyàn tí ebi máa pa wá. Ìyẹn náà fi lé gbogbo àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa kúrò lóko. Lẹ́yìn kejì ni pé wọ́n wá lọ block gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀ka àwọn ẹ̀dúró olóyìnbó ń pè ní gbogbo àwọn ọkùnrin tó wọ ìlú wa. Wọ́n wá ṣí tí wọ́n lẹ̀. Wọ́n wá block ti wa. Àwọn ọmọ pé ẹ̀ka tó ń pè ní declaration of war nìyẹn. Then wọ́n wá kó gbogbo àwọn wọ́n lọ fún àwọn sójà wọn káàkiri ní gbogbo àgbáyé àwọn Fúlàní wọn wá fún wọn wá sí orílẹ̀ wa. Fún ìdí méjì ni wọ́n fi ṣe nǹkan yẹn. Ìdí kìíní ni pé òkè tá a bá sọ pé a fẹ́ bá wọn jà. Àwọn tó máa lò nìyẹn tó lọ́tún mọ̀ pé àwọn tó bá jẹ́ sójà tiwa àtàwọn ọlọ́pàá wa àti tàwọn Ìgbò wọn ò lè rí wọn lò. So ìdí ni wọ́n fi kó àwọn èèyàn rẹ̀. Then ìkejì ni pé ọwọ́ ń flood àwọn èèyàn wá sọ̀dọ̀ wa. Wípé òkè a lè má tẹ̀ bá wọn jà ká kàn máa dẹ́rù bá wọn tó bá jẹ́ pé àṣẹ kọ́kọ́. Àwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyẹn ni wọ́n wá fẹ́ fi máa populate àwọn èèyàn tiwa. So torí ẹ̀ mo fi gba nǹkan tí ìkan nínú àwọn brọ́dà wa kan sọ. Ni wípé èyí tẹ́nìkan sọ wípé gbogbo àwọn tó bá wà ń lù wá la máa fílẹ̀ rárá. A máa ní òfin immigration law. Kì í ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tó bá wà lórí ilẹ̀ wa la máa fílẹ̀ nígbà tí táì bá tó. Àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló máa lọ. Ẹlòmíì àwọn míì kan á ṣe kọ́kọ́ lọ padà sílùú wọn táwọn wá lọ gba visa wọlé abárí kó yẹ ká fún wọn visa lọ. Wọ́n máa lè wọ ọ̀dọ̀ wa. So àwọn tá a lè sílẹ̀ ni àwọn tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ gbò àwọn iṣẹ́ gbòǹgbò kan tó jẹ́ pé a rí pé wọ́n ní láti di bẹ̀yẹn mú for now. So àkànní fi everybody lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àtòrí pé a ń bá wa gbé wọ́n ti ṣe kíní kan. Pàápàá àwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyí tó ń jọ̀ta wa yìí. A máa fi ààlà sáàárín àwẹ̀ àtàwọn láíláí ni. Torí wọn ìdáríjì yàn. Wọn ò ní ìdáríjì. Tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ti decide pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan kan, bó jẹ́ 100 years ni wọ́n á sì tún ṣe. So irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbà wọ́n láyè wọn láàárín wọn láyé àti láíláí. Anyway, òfin nígbà tó bá yá gbàtà bá máa ṣe àwọn òfin wa. Àwọn èèyàn tó ní aláàkáyè tó bá jò gbogbo wọn iná máa tún sínú àwọn òfin wa tí ó máa bá òfin wa jáde. Lẹ́ni kan tí wọ́n tún wá sọ fún wa ni pé àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nǹkan kan ló wà tó jẹ́ pé ó mú ká máa bẹ̀rù. Màá fẹ́ ká mọ̀ ẹ́ lẹ́nu. Yorùbá ò tí ì já ogun rí in the modern days. So nítorí pé àjagun rí torí pé kò sógun kankan tó jà wá rí ó máa jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rù bà wá. Mo sì mọ̀ pé ara àwọn ìlú gan tó máa jẹ́ kí ogun wà nìyẹn. Nítorí pé ìlú tí ò bá jagun wọn ò ní àwọn sójà tó dájú. Nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé Israeli wà lára àwọn tó dájú lédè nìyẹn. Nítorí pé wọ́n ti jagun. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ogun ò bá wọn lẹ́rù. Nígbà tó bá wá yá gan gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí wà tóbìnrin wà táwọn ọmọkùnrin wà la máa mú picture pé wọ́n go through the armed forces. Ó máa jẹ́ àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ pé a máa fi mú àwọn gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó wà ní ìpìyà. Tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò ní máa bẹ̀rù kó mọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ develop ọmọ máa bẹ̀rù. So nǹkan tó fà á táwọn ọmọ Yorùbá fi ń bẹ̀rù ni wọ́n fi wọ́n ọ̀jà kò tó tán bá ti wọ́n fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti wà lórí ilẹ̀ wọn rẹ̀ ni. Ogun ìyàn wà, ogun àìríṣẹ́ wà, ogun àìríṣẹ́ wà, ogun àìríjẹ́ wà, ogun tó fi dè mọ́lẹ̀, wọ́n tún fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ yín lọ́wọ́, wọ́n fẹ́ gba omi lọ́wọ́ yín, wọ́n lọ́ fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ yín, ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ tó ẹnìkan lọ́ ṣẹ̀ fẹ́. Nínú awareness wo ló ṣe lẹ́sẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe fúnra àwọn èèyàn yẹn? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe awareness dọ̀la. Àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé ìbẹ̀rù yẹn tó wà náà kan wọ̀ ní gbọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ara nǹkan tó máa mú ìgboyà wáyé. Téyì nǹkan tó bí tẹ̀yọ̀ bá ń bẹ̀rù tí ò bá tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀ èèyàn máa bẹ̀rù á bẹ̀rù kú. Bọ̀ ìjọ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ máa rí pé gbogbo èèyàn ló máa ní ìgboyà. Wọ́n ní ìgboyà tó máa dúró bẹ̀ wá pa ẹ̀dá. So gbogbo wa ní ká lọ máa múra ẹnìkan máa jọ sọ fún wa pé kò sọ̀rọ̀ psychology kan. Àwọn Fúlàní ò mọ psychology, Hausa ò mọ psychology. Kò sí psychology kan tó fi jẹ́ fún àwọn ìwọ̀n nípa. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn tó ń kó tó kó sí gbogbo kíní ẹ̀ tó ń kó gbogbo àwọn nǹkan ọjà tó ń kó sáàárín wa yìí kí ni wọ́n fẹ́ fi ṣe? Kí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe jẹ? So ẹjọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n tọ́ anybody jẹ gbogbo wa ní ká máa múra pátápátá ní gbogbo ibi tá a bá wà. Gbogbo iṣẹ́ tá a bá máa ṣe gbogbo àná gbogbo ibi tá a bá wà kọ́ tá a máa rí ṣe gbogbo àná ká bẹ̀ sí ń sọ àwa náà tá a wà lóde rè gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ. So gbogbo wa pátápátá la máa níṣẹ́ ṣe. So everybody ló máa gbéra di o. Àwọn náà tó dẹ̀ wà ní èrè lọ́nkọ́ tí wọ́n máa padà sílé kọ́ máa jẹ́ kẹ́ni kan tó àwọn jẹ́ òpé kò ní sí nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Gbogbo wa la ti rí Ọlọ́run ti fi ọgbà gbogbo everybody ló ti rí pé nǹkan máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So àdúrà tiwa ni pé kó máa wà pọ̀ jù. Ẹ̀kọ́ lọ jẹ́ kó tètè kó mọ níwọ̀nba ká gbà lúwa ká dẹ̀bẹ̀ sí ń tún lúwa ṣe. Ẹ ṣé òkú wa máa ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀nà.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. A máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ jíire ní gbogbo ibikíbi tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti darapọ̀ mọ́ ètò ti tèmi. Ẹ já sáré lọ Japan, àwọn ti wà ní òwúrọ̀ láàárọ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bàbá wa. Hello, caller. Ẹ ti wà lórí ẹ̀sán. Gbọ́ yín dáadáa, ohun yẹn lọ sílẹ̀ dé ẹgbẹ́ ní sórí fóònù ẹ̀ka lè gbọ́ yín.
Ọkùnrin láti èdè lọ, ìgbà mi sọ pé mo jáde gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá tó bá wà ní Japan bí a máa rí ìṣòro máa bá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ní òpin kó a máa dáwó jọ ni iṣẹ́ kọ́ńtì kankan kan dá owó jọ kọ́ máa bẹ̀bí kọ́ wá agent tó jẹ́ kó máa bá wọn gbé ọ̀pá dé tòsí ilé yẹn sábẹ́ gbogbo àwọn táwọn nílùú yìí máa mí jọ pé gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nù wọn ìwọ tábà ń bá lè gbé nù wọn láti bá sọ̀rọ̀ máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ wọn máa gbọ́ so owó tábà lè rí tábà lè kó jọ ó jẹ́ pé a máa wé agent ní kọ́ bá máa gbọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ pé a lè kó délé ó jẹ́ tòsí ilé ní ìgbà tí nǹkan bá tí ọ̀nà bá ti di pé ó free ọkọ̀ á lè wọlé sínú ilé tàbí bá àwọn tó bá fẹ́ ṣe so ìmarí sí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó bá wà láti ìlọ náà wọ́n ti ní gbogbo ètò yóò mú lára bẹ́ẹ̀ bí mo ṣe bá ń sọ mo ti gẹ́gẹ́ mo ti ní apatẹ́sọ̀n ní ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí lọ́sàn bẹ́ẹ̀ so mo dẹ̀ fi ọlọ́run agbófinró
àmín ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa.
bàbá mi á pè lẹ́yìn ètò
no problem ọ̀dà. ok mo kí ìyá wa yẹyẹ jẹ ok.
so ọ̀nà tí a bá bẹ̀ mọ̀ tá a lè fi blog gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó bá dé kó lè gbà láti wọlé sí àwọn ọmọ lára láti kó láti máa blog nílé àgbẹ̀yẹ sí ìpínlẹ̀ náà sọ.
ok ẹ ṣé gan ni ọ̀dà no problem.
ìjọba kò máa bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yẹn tó ṣe àtúngbọ́n.
lágbára ilé ìdìbò ẹ ṣé gan ni. As we are just about to wind down, I think this person has been trying to call. Let's hope the person is still there. Then I'm going to start. I'm going to do my closing remarks. Ẹ bá ṣe ní kíákíá.
Ẹ káàárọ̀. Ìdọ́tún ọ̀rẹ́ dá sí ni wípé àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé kò sí ogun ẹ̀wọ̀n ogun ti wà létí mú wa. Gbogbo eléyìí tí àwọn kan sọ pé wọ́n ń dúró de àwọn tó wà níbi kínní yẹn. Ẹ̀wọ̀n kẹ́gbọ̀n ní máa bèbí ẹ̀ ní tí bí ṣe wà yìí méjì bèbí ẹ̀. Tó bá kọ́ sí kú Ọlọ́run fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí bá dẹ̀ yìí tí mo jẹ́ rẹ̀ Ọlọ́run fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. So kẹ́gbọ̀n ní bèbí ara wọn lẹ̀. Torí wọ́n ti kó sójà sí yìí wọ́n ti kó sí bíbá ayé sọ pé ogun kan ẹ̀wọ̀n kan ẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn kan ní sórí pé kó máa bọ̀ lé ẹ̀ ní láti bẹ́ẹ̀ níbọ̀dé kó máa bọ̀ lé àwọn tó ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì pọ̀ àwọn míì ò gbọ́ wọn rẹ́ẹ̀dì àwọn ayé ká bí fáwọn èèyàn ẹ jọ time làwa ń dúró declaration kan làwa fẹ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
Thank you so much. Mo fi ti Elédùmarè ẹni tó bá pè tẹ́ ráyè wọlé ẹ má fi ṣèbínú rárá. Let me just do a quick summary gbogbo tí a ti sọ fún àǹfààní ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣe wọlé dé mo kíyàn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Saudi Arabia. We started with ìlú mélòó ló wà lágbàáyé àti pé ìlú mélòó ni ó ti dá wà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú in the last 40 years. So I'm just going to do a summary quickly. 2 o'clock la máa parí ètò yìí, so it's just under 15 minutes. Again, United Nations recognized 193 countries as well as 2 observer states, while FIFA recognized 211. I calculate pé 18 countries ní UN kò recognize, but kò sí tó kan FIFA recognize gbogbo àwọn ìlú yẹn. Yet, new countries continue to be born. So àwa kọ́ la máa kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ ìlú tó fẹ́ dá dúró. New countries continue to be born. Most often, new countries form when an established country split or dissolves. In tó ń fà ni pé ìlú máa pín, ó máa wà dissolve. Ìdí tó ń fà nìyẹn. Other times, new countries have formed territories that have become independent from their mother host country, establishing themselves as a new sovereign nation. In the past 40 years, láti bí 4 decades, 34 new countries have been recognized by the United Nations, which is widely regarded as the final step of becoming a fully realized country. Àtúnikọ́ kan tó ń bọ̀ ẹ bá ṣe ní kíákíá torí àsìkò. Hello? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Ẹ ti wà on, ẹ gbóhùn sókè. Àsìlálẹ̀ òwúrọ̀ àwa àwọn ọmọ ibi tẹ́yìn wà. Ẹgbọ́n sókè sàǹgbọ́n yín.
Àti Nàìjíríà la ti ń pè o.
Ok, òru la máa sọ pé àjọ wa. Àsì ní alẹ́ àǹgbọ́n yín.
Nípa Kóìkì, ẹ̀kú iṣẹ́ o.
Àwa ni ẹ sà.
Àwọn alálẹ̀ àmà tí lẹ́yìn o.
Láṣẹ ìdùnnú rẹ̀.
Ẹjọ́ èmi ò lọ́rọ̀ púpọ̀ láti sọ. Mo kàn fẹ́ sọ fún yín pé iṣẹ́ láwọn èèyàn ti múra sílẹ̀ o.
Ó dà.
Ìtura wa ta wà Nàìjíríà yìí orí ìtàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn gan-an.
Ó dà.
Orí ìtàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn gan-an bí káwọn èèyàn bí kọ́kàn tiẹ̀ declare kí everybody lè dúró lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Ìtura àwọn èèyàn sọ́fà gan-an.
Ó kù díẹ̀ ni.
Prepare. Ọlọ́run ṣàjẹ̀kọ́ bọ́ sí time tó yá sá. Àwọn adúró dé.
Preparation náà ni gbogbo tó kù. Kò sí ìbẹ̀rù níbi tá a dé fún declaration. Ọlọ́run àdó ti gbogbo àti àsìkò yẹn máa fi dé bá wa. Kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè tílé ọgbà. A máa jọ dúró tì ní pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Àṣẹ wa.
Thank you so much. Ẹ dàárọ̀ òun ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Let's come back to what I was actually reading. Mo fẹ́ ka lose plot. So, ibi tá a kàdé ni. In the past 40 years, láti bí 4 decades, in the past 40 years alone, 34 new countries have been recognized by United Nations, which is widely regarded as the final step of becoming a fully realized country. The newest nation in the world as of early 2022 is South Sudan, which split from Sudan in 2011. However, it may not hold that title for long. Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní the Pacific island of Bougainville, voted in 2021 to separate from Papua New Guinea. Wọ́n wá ní by 2027, ọdún márùn-ún sísìn. Oh, please, I need the calling number again. Number yẹn òun ni +44 74 04405917 44 74 04405917. Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní Bougainville 2021 ni wọ́n separate kúrò lára Papua New Guinea. Wọ́n wá ní by 2027 ọdún márùn-ún sísìn several additional territories and unrecognized countries are well on their way to achieving independence themselves. Kò ń ṣe dandan ni pé UN lè agree pẹ̀lú recognize ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gẹ́gẹ́ bí òmìnira, but kò mí pé a lè declare láti dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. 18 countries as of today wọ́n ń ṣayé wọn lọ, wọ́n dá dúró, and that means not literally that UN recognize them, but they are called countries according to some countries that believe in it. Àwọn wo ni ìlú márùn-ún tí a lè mú jáde nínú àwọn ìlú tó ṣẹ̀ jáde kúrò nínú ìlú tó wà tẹ́lẹ̀? South Sudan ó kúrò lára Sudan in 2011. Kosovo partially recognized, succeeded from Serbia in 2008, not yet fully recognized by United Nations. Montenegro separated from Serbia in 2006. East Timor gained independence from Indonesia in 1975. This is going to be our last call, please.
Hello.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́
gan-an ni. Ọlọ́run alààyè ní padà lẹ́yìn.
Àmín.
Agbára Kristi, àwọn òṣèlú kò ní fi ní sílẹ̀ tọmọtọmọ tilé.
Àmín.
Ayé òní ọkọ̀ ayé tì. Ó kú iṣẹ́. Káàrọ̀ mọ́ dáadáa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni mà.
Ìgbẹ̀bú gidi ni.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni mà. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. Adúpẹ́. Ẹ máa kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa alálùbáríkà tí ẹ wà ní gbogbo àgbáyé tí àyùn léwùn yín lọ, but ilé ò ṣe lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nítorí pé ogun terrorist wà nílẹ̀ wa. Nígbà tá a bá ti declare, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá máa defend. A ní right láti gbé rifle láti defend ilẹ̀ wa. A pa anybody, but a defend ara wa. Orí ilẹ̀ yẹn là ń defend, nothing more than that. Serbia separated from Montenegro ní 2002. Papua New Guinea ó separate, graduated from UN Trust Program. Mo mọ̀ tó mean by that. But anyway, kò ń ṣe àwa nìkan la ṣe fi lọ. Ẹ wá sí bíbáyìí. Ó sọ ní bíbáyìí pé the fall of the Soviet Union and the new country boom Between 1991 and 1993, ọmọ tó bí ní 1991 is 31 years old. The period from 1991 to 1993 ó witnessed the birth of 24 méjì ìlú ló jáde, thanks in the life path of to a one singular event in tán pè ní the dissolution of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ máa rántí USSR. December 26, ọjọ́ Boxing Day, according to the history, ni wọ́n dissolve. Ìlú 15 ló jáde kúrò lára ẹ̀. Before the end of the year, Nigeria bá break, ìlú mẹ́wàá bá jáde nínú ẹ̀, as long as tí Yorùbá bá ti dá dúró, èyí tó ṣe pàtàkì nìyẹn. So ìbẹ̀rù gbọ́dọ̀ sí lára ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire. Lára àwọn ìlú táwọn sọ pé ó dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè tiwọn, òun là ń pè ìlú yìí. Wọ́n ń pè ní Bougainville Island. Population wọn is 300,000. Ìlú ni wọ́n. Àwọn náà lélẹ̀. South Sudan, gbogbo population wọn is 11.19 million according to the World Bank 2020. Ìlú ni wọ́n ní dialing code wọ́n dá dúró. Níjọ́ tá a bá declare níjọ́ yẹn independence wa máa bọ́ sí according to what and how it works. July 9, 2011 ní South Sudan ló dá dúró. Ara Sudan ló wà kó tó di pé wọ́n náà wọ́n ṣe mọ́. Kosovo ó dá dúró, àwọn náà wọ́n ní dialing code wọn. Euro ló ń ná níbẹ̀. Ẹ imagine pé UN ò accept wọn, but ayé ṣì ń lọ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn, kò sí tó kàn wọ́n. It's part of the continental Europe. Gbogbo population wọn ju 1.87 trillion at the moment. 5 million ti sign petition. Ìyẹn náà tó láti declare Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní East Timor. Wọ́n ní dialing code tiwọn náà 1.3 million. Wọ́n kúrò lára ìlú ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀ kúrò lára ẹ̀ náà. It's part of the Southeast Asia. Mo ti ṣe analysis lórí fídíò yìí rí, kódà ẹni tó ja ìjà yẹn ó padà di president ìlú yìí. Ẹ bá lọ ka history East Timor. Ẹni tó jẹ́ bí one of their movement leader, he ended up becoming the president. United States dollar ló ná. So èyí tẹ́ ń wọ́rí pé owó la máa ná, there will be money that will be used that will be then become our own currency. As long as we agree, we'll have our own system of government. Àwọn tó ń ṣe government ò kí ń pọ̀ as long as they work in line with the constitution. Àwọn tó ń ṣe government Nigeria láti 1960 kí ló ṣe fún yín? Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní Papua, according to what we know, gbogbo population wọn ju 18,000 as of 2020. United States dollar ni wọ́n ná. And we talk about the indigenous people have the right to the full and effective enjoyment of the human right and fundamental freedom recognized in the chapter according to Gbogboontaka níbí báyìí. So at the day number 7, so tó bá di I don't know what the situation will be tomorrow, but the next program, as long as tó bá ti ń ṣe mobile phone ní bá fi ṣe streaming, tó bá ti jẹ́ software, we will continue from where we stop at number 7. I might go into all the details. I just picked this up as well. The United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wa darapọ̀ mọ́ ètò ti àṣálẹ́ àníri jù báyìí lọ níbi tí a ti kọ́ra wa ní ọgbọ́n oríṣiríṣi. Ẹ dá owó sínú gbogbo àkáǹtì tí wọ́n ní ká fowó sí, which is majorly the Òmìnira and the YSDM central account. We need money to run the operation of the Yoruba nation. There will be a mega rally, but not the one that is coming up in Ogun State. That is not the full mega rally. The full mega rally will be announced by Professor Banji Akintoye and the rest of the people that are working behind the scene. I'm just a media using my platform to educate and tell us that there is no need for us to be scared. Just to quickly say thank you to those who have joined African Confidential. I cite you, Dr. Benjamin, Mr. Olatunde, Bolo Biliki. You're watching from Indonesia, or okay? Niston Administrative. Let's not forget UN, and let's be on our own. Let's forget UN and be our own. Definitely, I believe UN would not agree with us, but we will move forward without the United Nations. We would have our own system of government when the declaration is made, and that means the governors have no right anymore on us. It might become very, very interesting. Morimbe Yami Olajumoke Ajoke, Mr. Victoria, and the rest of you, if I can't mention your name, and everyone that have joined us on the Instagram. We're live on Twitter, and it's been a very beautiful one. We've learned a lot tonight, and be rest assured that there will be a lot to learn as we move forward. My name again hasn't changed. It's Olayomi Koiki. We still have about 4 people that are listening to us on the MixLR after 3 hours 20 minutes of this broadcast. I hope you've learned a lot. All the links, Baba Mikarunwi, thank you so much, Mr. Femi. Mr. Andy Ando, Baba Sulaiman, Joseph Oyewole, Bamidele, Akim Adiora Zaki, Baba Mi Simon Adebisi, and the rest of you, James, Miss Baba Mi Alora, Eko Migbadura, Adura Atiba, Big Washingba, Emma Ekosu Akodebodo Rewa, Moki Bugawati, Ajon Shisheno, Lotun Losu. I'm just playing my role from the media perspective. Most of 2 years, going to 3 years ago, I will educate people with my platform. You'll get angry with Nigeria on a daily basis when you watch me. I will make your temper to go high, just the same level with me. You will become as wide as me and prepare for whatever is going to happen. You should not be scared of anything. We are all in this together. Nobody's going to push you forward to anything. We will all fight, even with the last man standing. And one thing is, they cannot defeat us. That's all I can say. Thank you so much to all our Diaspora brothers. Like I said, if I haven't mentioned your name, don't be upset. Orukomini Olayomi Koiki. KOIKIMEDIA, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. And on that note, please, nobody should call me after the broadcast. I need to go and take a bit of nap and relax the body and the brain. Yoruba is the next track that is coming, and I say, put that roll.
Yoruba, ọlọ́pọ̀lọ́ pípé, ọ̀mọ̀wé ń bẹ, àgbẹ̀ ń bẹ, iṣẹ́ ọ̀nà ń bẹ, kákó ni mọ́ra. Kápọ́nilé, káyéni sí. Kásọ̀rọ̀ tútù tó lè bí lápò. Òwe ìbáwí. Òwe ìkìlọ̀. Òwe ìwúrí. Bọ́rọ̀ bá sọnù. Àkàlẹ̀ èdè ń kọ́. Ibi ìgà. Adéwálé fún wa ọjọ́ ìbílígà oṣù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, iwájú lójú ń gbé. Òkè níjọ òkè ẹ̀yà fún mi.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later you leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.